Find it hard sometimes, please forgive me. I just wanna get right, and I don't wanna slip up, but it's hard to keep up in a world so upside down. So guide me, guide me, guide me, guide me, guide me, guide me. It's been a while since I spoke to you. While nobody is around, I just wanna say to you, I thank you for everything that you blessed me with. If there's a time for anything, this will be it. Can't nobody tell me what you made me feel. Can't nobody shake what I have instilled inside of me. They might try, but the power that's beside of me, ride for me, fight for me, die for me, try me. And I'm here, fighting for your love. Do I make that clear? I might need a little work, but I keep you near. Never doubted what you said, and it's all right here inside of me. I keep the scriptures like they part of me, and never miss a single day. Why does it bother me? Getting so distracted, really stuck on what they say. Praying that you hear just what I'm saying. Don't give up on me. Don't give up on me.
Who is that on Facebook saying Courtney B? Nah, that ain't Courtney Blunt. That's Nataza Ahayathan. Sound like Courtney Blunt, don't know.
Got me, got me, got me. Got me, got me, got me. Many times I ran out from you, but I always came back. Can't stand not having you in my life. Need you day and night, always by my side, teaching me wrong from right. So don't let it go. Coming back for so long. And let's be honest, fruits of the spirit is undefined treasure. Ain't nobody tell me what you made me feel. Ain't nobody shake what I have instilled inside of me. It might try, but the power that's beside of me. Cry for me, fight for me, die for me, try me. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Ooh, I just need a little help from you. I just need a little help from you. So got me. I find it hard sometimes. Please, Father, help me. I just wanna get right, and I don't wanna slip up, but it's hard to keep up in a world so upside down. So guide me, guide me, guide me. Guide me, guide me, guide me. Increase the old faith in the Most High.
That's me singing Hebrew. Nah, I'm just playing. Nah, Hebrew, I'm finna type it in the room for y'all. This song, I'm finna type this song in the room, then I'm gonna type the previous song in the room.
It's walking for the weak. I die daily, smiling up, seeking light, and I found it through Christ. Increase the old faith in the Most High. Yeah. Increase the old faith. Increase the old faith. Increase the old faith. In the Most High, yeah. Increase your faith. Increase your faith. Like gold tried in the fire. You gotta know it's strong. King is on the throne. It won't be too much longer, yeah, yeah. Increase your faith in the Most High. Increase your faith. Increase your faith. Increase your faith in the Most High. Yeah. Increase your faith. Increase your faith. Breathe in me. Humanity is walking for the weak. I die daily. Smiling Christ showed the way. So choose life today. Increase your way. Increase your faith. Increase your faith in the Most High. Increase your faith. Increase your faith. Increase your faith in the Most High. Increase your faith. Increase your faith.
All praise, honor, and magnificent glory is unto our Elohim, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Isaac, and the Elohim of Jacob. We give praise, honor, and glory to Bahashem, Yahushua, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. He coming to set the record straight for Israel, because of Israel, to Israel. Right. He gonna set the record straight. So our brothers and sisters in the faith, as always, we salute you. Those that are 10 toes down in this spiritual scrap we find ourselves so often engaged in. With that, I got a young lion in the building.
Shalom.
And your humble servant T Boogie is back on another Shabbat night to do what we always do. Clean, snatch the drawers off the devil. Let God be true. And every man, moray, elder, teacher, every man be counted as a liar. I turn it over to the young lion.
All right, Shabbat Shalom, family. It's good to be here on a Friday. You know what I'm saying? I know this kind of rare.
Praise, all praise.
Hope everybody doing good. Hope everybody got their last little running around done before the sun went down.
Yes, sir.
Hope you got your favorite snacks. You know what I'm saying? Got your what y'all eat on Shabbat?
Chips, cake, whatever you have. Leftovers.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Got your favorite, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, you know, but we about to eat on this spiritual food. Y'all see the title? Y'all see the title? The Pearl Butter 2 Sticks, from beginning to end, or old and new. The book is about Israel.
That's right.
The Pearl Butter 2 Sticks, from beginning to end, or old and new. The book is about Israel.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? This is the intro to our Black History series that we're going to be going into. All right, and tonight we're going to go into this pearl butter, these 2 sticks.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to look at this thing because and I'm gonna go and let the cat out the bag. What the bulk of the content of this lesson is gonna be discussing the Gentiles and the Israelites, and who are the how can the Israelite be a Gentile? And, you know what I'm saying?
Lay that out.
It's I think it's about time to readdress this subject matter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's time to go back over this subject matter, because I know it's still a bunch of things that a bunch of people got questions about. You know what I'm saying? And it's it's a bunch of history that that we can't cover in every lesson that we hit on this topic. So I took this lesson, which is probably gonna be a 2-part series, today and tomorrow, most high willing. And we're gonna look at some things. We're gonna look at this thing from kind of a different perspective, from the perspective of the parable of the 2 sticks, right? And the objectives that we're gonna cover in this lesson, we're gonna cover a few objectives. The first one is we're gonna look at redemption and adoption, and how it only applies to Israel, right?
That's right.
Then we're gonna look at the New Testament, the Jews and the Gentiles. Who is it? Right? Plain and simple. Who is it? When we get to the New Testament, who is it? And how can it be Israelites? We're gonna get into that. The other objective we're gonna cover is the death of Christ was only for Israel.
What?
There's some hard. I know there's some hard claims.
Nah, man.
Yeah. When we read these scriptures, like really break down the history of everything, we gonna walk our way up.
Come on, man.
We're not gonna speed through this. We're gonna go through the history of the split. You know what I'm saying? And we finna go through this thing tonight and tomorrow, most high willing.
Most high willing.
Most high willing, right? We're gonna look at this parable, right? Because it's about 2 sticks, and it's about what? The house of Israel and the house of Judah.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So we're gonna look at this parable. We're gonna look at why was these 2 sticks separated. You know what I'm saying? What happened why these 2 sticks were separated? What happened with the 2 sticks while they was apart?
Yeah. That's what we need to get into.
You know what I'm saying? Then we're gonna look at the process of the 2 sticks coming together. Which when you know what you read in the New Testament, when you get to the New Testament, all it is showing the process of the 2 sticks being brought together.
The mystery of Paul, man.
We're gonna get into it. Yes, sir. See, look, he already in part 2. He already in part 2.
My bad.
So we got 32 people in here and two likes. Y'all get them likes.
Yes, sir.
Subscribe, like, and share.
Yeah, same thing on Facebook. We got about 6-8 people on Facebook.
Come on, y'all.
Y'all gonna get that like button, hit that share button.
I'm gonna put a picture up here of my feet.
Yeah.
Until we get them likes up. Now I'm just let's get this though, man. Let's go on dive into this.
That's right.
Let's go on dive into this. Let's get this Ezekiel 37. Let's start it right on off in what the title is, the parable of the 2 sticks.
Okay.
And then this the crazy part, right? We read this parable about 2 sticks being brought together and made one. Well, how do you make 2 sticks one anyway? What is that process?
Come on now. Come on, call grafting now.
Oh.
The Gentile can be grafted in.
So if the process is putting two sticks together and making the one is called grafting, and this parable is about Israel.
Come on now.
We already see where it's going.
I can't grab the cherry stick and apples.
Nah, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Oh, okay.
You can't do that. And then look, these heathens in a way they do that with the GMO fruit and the stuff like that. You taking 2 things that don't go together.
And try to make them go together. Everything they do blaspheme the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Everything they do, physically, spiritually, mentally, it just blasphemes.
Yeah.
Every seed out his own kind.
And they blaspheme that, mixing seed. All right, so let's get this.
All right.
Ezekiel 37 and verse 15. Let's pick it right on up in it. Ezekiel 37 and verse 15. And then we're going to jump to Then after this, we gonna jump to the end real quick. Just like how they do in most movies. At the beginning, they show you the end so that you can better understand the beginning and the middle. And then in the end, you see like, oh, that's why they showed us that in the beginning. All right, so that's what we gonna do after we read this parable. We gonna jump to the end. We gonna show you the end. So when we get to the New Testament,
right,
in your head, it won't be
perfect clear.
It ought to be picture perfect clear. We gonna tilt our hand a lot in this lesson. We ain't gonna leave you hanging on the ledge to the end.
Right.
See what we talking about to the end of part 2. Now we ain't gonna do that.
I did.
We ain't gonna do that. We finna get right into this. All right. Parable of the 2 sticks, verse 15. Ezekiel 37, verse 15. Let's get it.
And the word of Yahweh came again unto me, saying,
Moreover,
thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah, and for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim.
The stick of who?
Ephraim.
All right, so he told him this is the word of the Most High.
Yeah, that's right. That we read.
He said, take one stick, put Judah on it. Take another stick, put Ephraim on it. Ephraim was the biggest of all the tribes of the northern kingdom. So a lot of times in scripture, you see Ephraim is being spoken of the northern kingdom, of the 10 tribes, right? Go ahead.
And for all the house of Israel, his companions. And join them one to another.
And do what?
And join them one to another. Into one stick.
Into one stick. Go ahead.
And they shall become one in thine hand. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, excuse me, wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by thee? Say unto them, thus said Yahweh your power, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel his fellow, and I will put them with him, even the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand.
Now you see, in the process of Ezekiel putting these sticks together, Israel didn't understand. They didn't understand what was going on.
Right.
Even though on one stick it was Judah, and on another stick it was Ephraim, the people looked at it and said, "What you doing, man?"
That's right. Right.
Why are you trying to take 2 sticks with Judah on one and Ephraim on another one and trying to put them together and make it one?
Right.
That's something the people didn't understand.
Right.
Keep that in mind throughout this whole lesson.
Right. Because they still don't understand.
I already let you know off the bat.
They still don't know.
This whole process of the 2 sticks coming together is a mystery. Off the bat, because the people didn't know what was going on. We just read.
That's right. That's right. All
right, go ahead.
Verse 20.
Yeah.
And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes. Verse 21. And say unto them, thus saith Yahweh your power, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen.
From where?
From among the heathen.
Okay.
Whither they be gone. And I will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation.
One what?
One nation.
Oh, so we not one nation now.
Nope.
We not one nation now. So let's just address the elephant in the room.
Okay.
The popular teaching, even the teaching that we came up under.
Yep.
That the Gentiles is fellow heirs with Israel according to the New Testament.
Well, straighten that out. The natural born Gentile that's not of the seed of Israel.
Right. That they are fellow heirs with Israel according to the New Testament, per Paul, per Messiah.
That's right. That's what they say now.
That's, you know what I'm saying? Then you got brothers like us, we saying,
no.
Not so. We saying that the Gentiles that you read about in the New Testament is actually the lost tribes or remnants of the southern and northern kingdom. Right? And the New Testament is showing the process of the parable of the 2 sticks coming together.
That's right.
So which one is it? Which one is it?
We gonna find out.
We finna find out real soon. Go ahead.
22.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I will make them one nation.
So if we not one nation now, he said I'm gonna make them one nation then. When he put us back in our land. Israel ain't been one nation since Solomon. Y'all, that's over 3,000 years.
Yep. A lot can get lost in translation in 3,000
Oh
years.
man, we gonna look at it too. We gonna get it. We actually gonna get into the split
There you go.
of the kingdom. Right? So for over 3,000 years, from Solomon all the way up until right now, y'all, Israel is still not one nation.
That's right.
So how is it that we can get to the New Testament and it's talking about bringing strangers, natural born strangers in before
Yeah, you gonna supersede all that prophecy.
building on fire with children in your child in it, you gonna go in and say a child you don't know
Come on
first
now.
before you go save your own.
Come on now. I think not.
I mean, if we just use a little common sense, y'all, and just read the scriptures slow, this thing it's really simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is simple.
You got to get that messed up teaching that you've been
Yeah. And it's a watered down doctrine. It's a watered down doctrine, man. But brothers should never be afraid or ashamed to refine what they done already been taught.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So let's keep reading. So he said, and I will make them one nation. Go ahead.
In the land upon the mountains of Israel.
And
one king shall be king to them all. And they shall be no more two nations.
Hold on. Two nations?
Yep.
But I thought we was all Israel. Two nations. That's what he said. This is the word of the Lord.
It's coming straight from his mouth. Straight from the throne.
Go ahead.
Neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all.
So two kingdoms. So now we see off the bat, because we tend to read these scriptures like Israel is under one banner right now. That's how we tend to read the scriptures. We go to the New Testament and see Jew and think that it's talking about all 12 tribes of Israel.
So not.
We'll go to Romans 9. We'll go to Romans 11. Romans 9, where Paul say, you know what I'm saying? I wish I was cursed for my brethren,
my kinsmen
according to the flesh.
That's right. Who are what?
Who are Israelites. You think he talking about all Israel when he say that? And he not.
Nope.
Because there were many Jews who believed on Messiah. So who were the ones that Paul wished he was cut off for so that they might get it?
Mm-hmm.
See, we've been speed reading and not paying attention to what we're doing when we read this.
And sitting at the kneecaps of elders who've been teaching this wrong. Yeah, teaching a watered down version of the New Testament, basically. And not rightfully dividing the prophets. That's a recipe for disaster. That's right.
Go ahead.
Verse 23.
Yeah.
Neither shall they defile themselves anymore with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions. But I will save them out of all their dwellings, wherein they have sinned, and I will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their power.
Hallelujah. Now let's jump to the end. So now that we know what the parable of the two sticks is about, it's about which one is it? Okay. Boom. All right, so now that we know what the parable of the two sticks is about, it's about, you say First Maccabees 2. Yeah, we gonna get there. You know that's in there, Hebrew. You already know. For a lot of us, this is just a review for
that's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if you've been listening to us for a minute, we've been on this for a while now.
That's right.
Like it was actually a time a few months ago, probably about a year ago, where me, you, Woody P, we did like lessons back to back on the same subject. Woody did one. Learn not the ways of the heathen, I believe the title was. We did one on Galatians 3:8. We did that one. Then you did one.
Can't be able to, if you ain't able to see, you can't be able to root.
You know what I'm saying? So y'all can go back and watch all these together with this one.
Yeah.
Right? So now let's jump to the end, like we said. Let's go to Isaiah 14. Let's go to Isaiah 14. Now let's look at natural born heathens and their role in the future age. Let's just go and get them out the way.
That's right.
So before we even get to the New Testament, y'all, it ain't gonna be no question what it is. We not even gonna hit New Testament scriptures in this first part barely. We probably gonna hit one or two.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because we gotta build up in this Tanakh first before we get we just going to the New Testament and start trying to match stuff up. Yeah.
Won't we get lost in the sauce?
Yeah, so get ready to eat out this Tanakh tonight, y'all. So let's go to Isaiah 14. Let's look at the end. I'm showing you the end in the beginning of the lesson. Isaiah 14, and let's pick it up at verse 1. We're going to read 1 through 7.
All right. For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them.
So we know what time period this is.
Yep, this is the day of the rest.
Okay, go ahead.
And they shall cleave to the house.
Hold on. Now read the end of.
I'm sorry. Let me start at the top.
Yeah.
For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land.
Yeah.
And the strangers shall be joined with them.
And so when all 12 tribes is back in their own land, then the strangers is joined.
That's right.
Not anytime soon.
No,
Okay, so now we see in Isaiah, this is the order Isaiah is laying it out.
I think he know what he's talking about.
I think he know what he's talking about. So how is it that we get to the New Testament and all the tribes ain't gathered yet, but y'all talking about the Gentiles, the natural born Gentile becoming fellow heirs with Israel?
Spiritual Israel.
Y'all, that don't make no sense. So he said, when I put them in their own land, then the strangers shall be joined unto them.
That's
then
right.
Go ahead.
End of 14.
And
they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
Yeah.
And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of their power for service.
Possess means to own.
That's right.
You see, this the future age. Go ahead.
For service and handmaids. And they shall take them captives.
You know what another word for? You know what a synonym for captive is? A slave.
That's it.
The strangers that cleave to Israel will be owned by Israelites.
That's it.
For servants and handmaids.
Simple and plain.
Simple and plain. Now these are the heathens that are left over after Messiah come and lay everything flat and establish what it is. These are the heathens that are left over.
That's it.
So we know these ain't wicked heathens. These are heathens that believe.
That's right. That's right.
But they gonna be slaves in the future age.
That's simple and plain.
But y'all say they gonna be fellow heirs according to the New Testament.
Bad doctrine.
So I mean, you can't have it both ways.
Bad doctrine, man.
And if you a fellow heir, that means you had the same privileges as same rights. So that would mean they got the covenants, the promise, the rulership, the adoption. All that belong to the natural born heathens too.
The giving of the law.
The giving of the law.
Some of y'all got some of these heathens teaching and reading in your class.
Hey, I mean,
so somebody in error.
So if you subscribe to the doctrine that the Gentiles is the natural born heathens, bro, you off.
Way off, baby. This end of 14 gonna show you something.
These are the believing heathens that are remaining.
That's gonna bow the knee to the God of Israel.
Yeah.
And gonna serve his children.
Yeah. And their role in prophecy in the future age says servitude. It don't describe them ruling, sitting on thrones with crowns on their heads and none of that.
Nope.
Go ahead.
Whose captives they were.
Ooh.
Now that right there, who brought it here in slavery?
Yeah.
Now we was captives, but they said they gonna be the captives who they were.
Right. So who is that? Go ahead.
And they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how has the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. Yahweh has broken the staff of the wicked.
See that he's broken the staff of the wicked. You can read that verse 4 in Revelation 18, verse 16. Go ahead.
And the scepter of the ruler. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that rules the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindered. The whole earth is at rest.
That's right.
And is quiet. They break forward into sin.
Let's go to the next spot, Amos chapter 9.
Right.
Let's go look at their role again from the perspective of another prophet. Let's see the order that he put down. See, we can't get to the New Testament and say that it's something different than what the Old Testament is saying.
Mm-hmm.
It got to be saying the same thing.
That's right.
It got to be saying the same thing, y'all. So we going to Amos chapter 9. I know I got 11 through 15, but we gonna do 9 through 15. Gonna pick it up at verse 9. Amos 9, pick it up at verse 9. Go ahead.
For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel from among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth.
All right, so he said, I'm gonna sift the house of Israel among all nations. I remember that we two different nations.
Come on now.
All right, go ahead.
All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. In that day, I will raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen.
I will do what?
I will raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen.
So when David was ruling, one all 12 tribes won?
Yep.
We was all together then.
All we won, brother.
So this the first step. He said, I'm going to kill all the sinners of my people. We read up to verse 8. He said, I'm going to destroy the sinful kingdom from out the face of the earth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So first there you got the destruction of your enemies. Yep. Then he say, all the sinners of my people going to die by the sword. He going to kill the sinners of his people. Then he going to raise up the tabernacle of David.
That's it, bro.
All 12 tribes of Israel. First, go ahead.
And close up the breaches thereof.
Right.
And I will raise up his ruin. And I will build in it as in the days of old.
Now, a lot of these scriptures that we going to, we going to come back in part 2 like this one right here. Like when we go to that Ephesians chapter 2, we're going to come back to this. You're going to be like, man, man. All right. So he said, I'm going to raise up the tabernacle of David. Then what he going to do in verse 12? Go ahead.
That they may possess the remnant of evil.
That they may do what?
Possess the remnant of evil.
So it's going to be some left over out of Edom.
Yep.
And we going to own them too.
That's what it is, bro.
Go ahead.
And of all the heathen.
Of who?
And of all the heathen.
So all the heathen is going into servitude according to Isaiah and Amos. In the future age. Go ahead.
Which are called by my name, said Yahweh, that doeth this. Behold, the days come, said Yahweh, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper.
Hold on, who is the plowman? That's the one
that's in service,
doing all the work.
Yeah.
Getting his back broke in. Getting his mouth tore out by this heathen.
That's right.
He said the plowman is going to overtake the reaper. The reaper is the one sitting back, reaping all the benefits, not lifting the finger. I mean, who is playing these roles today, y'all? This ain't hard to figure out.
Unless you ain't got eyes to see.
Right. Go ahead.
And the treader of the grapes, him that soweth the seed. And the mountain shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. Now,
did y'all see that order? He said the tabernacle of David gonna be raised up first. Then they gonna possess all the heathen. So we see it again.
One more again, brother.
The tribes gathered first, then the heathens come. All right, go ahead.
And I will bring again the captivity of my people of Israel, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them. And I will plant them upon their land, and they shall be no more pulled out of their land, which I have given them, said Yahweh thy power.
That's right. Let's go to the next spot. Let's go to Isaiah 61.
All right.
Let's go to Isaiah 61. We still jumping. We still in the end before we hop back to the beginning. Just want to show you their role. So when we get into this New Testament and later on into these prophets, y'all won't be confused. Isaiah 61, we're gonna read 1 through 5. Isaiah 61, pick it up at verse 1.
The spirit of Yahweh is upon me. Because Yahweh has anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He has sent me to bind up the broken heart, to proclaim liberty to the captive.
To do what?
To proclaim liberty to the captive.
To proclaim liberty to the captives. That means to proclaim freedom to the slaves. Who was the slave?
Come on now. Come on now. It ain't hard.
This was fulfilled in half of this was fulfilled in Luke 4. When you read the Messiah went up in the synagogue, opened the book, and he read part of this and then closed it.
That's right.
Right. So part of giving liberty to the captives first was spiritual.
That's right.
Because how we gonna become one nation and we still ain't overcame our flesh?
That's right. That's right.
So he had to come show us the way to free us from that mental slavery first.
Right. That's right.
You see what I'm saying? That hatred that had built up between us, Israel.
That's right.
Which we gonna get into that. All right. So now this is the thing. So we read Isaiah 14, Amos 9. In the future age, the strangers, the heathens, they gonna be slaves. And then Messiah read in Luke 4, this prophecy right here, he said to proclaim liberty to the captives.
At that time, we were in bondage.
Now I'm gonna come free you, and then in the future age, I'm gonna throw you back in slavery.
No.
And then these same people say, but the Gentiles gonna be fellow heirs according to the New Testament with Israel. Well, this is confusing if you ask me.
That's right. It is all it is.
Because the prophets is saying one thing, and the masses is saying another.
We know God is not the power of confusion.
He not the author of confusion at all. How is it that you fellow heirs in one breath, but all the prophets say that no, they're gonna be slaves?
That's what it is.
Because if you a fellow heir with Israel, then you're gonna be ruling.
That's right.
You're gonna have a crown on you. You're gonna have a gate to go through. You're gonna all that.
Exactly, bro. Where you gated? That's where I'm at.
You know what I'm saying? So we already see the you know what I'm saying, the picture that we trying to paint.
Right.
We already see it starting to come to life a little bit.
That's right.
All right, go ahead.
And the opening of the prison to them that are bound.
That's right. Go ahead.
To proclaim the acceptable year of Yahweh and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion.
That's right.
To give unto them beautiful ashes and oil the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they may be called trees of righteousness, the planting of Yahweh, that he might be glorified.
Go ahead.
And they shall build the old waste, and they shall raise up the former desolations, and they shall repair the waste cities, the desolations of many generations. And strangers shall stand and feed your flock.
They shall do what?
Stand and feed your flock.
Oh, so they sound like servitude right there.
That's right.
You know, in the weather in Israel, you think in our kingdom we're gonna be standing out in the heat feeding flocks?
Nope.
See, this is what a lot of people don't want to hear. They don't like to hear these type of scriptures read.
And definitely don't want to read the second part of verse 5.
Go ahead, read it. We gonna read it.
And the sons of the alien. Now y'all look that word up in concordance, alien.
Yeah.
And the sons of the alien.
Now we gonna start pulling
shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers.
Right. See, we can pull these definitions, but we really ain't got to because the context is making it clear who these strangers and aliens is.
Alien.
But when we get to other scriptures, we gonna pull the definition because it's if you'd have been taught a certain way, then you gonna think that stranger across the board mean the same thing, and it don't.
No.
And it don't. All right. That was the end of verse 5.
That was it, brother.
All right, so now he says, strangers should stand and feed your flocks. That's another witness. Let's go to the New Testament, Revelation 13. Let's see what, brother, that's just that Old Testament, right?
Okay.
That can't be what it say in the New Testament, under the New Covenant. Okay. Let's see. Revelation 13. Let's do 9 and 10. Revelation 13, 9 and 10.
If any man have an ear, let him hear.
He
that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Who done led into captivity? Here.
We've been led into captivity. And the heathen been doing the lead.
Yeah. Go ahead.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Yeah.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
See that? That's it. This is the patience and the faith of the saints. This is what the saints are believing in and waiting on.
I know I am.
We waiting on him. We waiting on for him that led into captivity to go into captivity.
Get down and lay down. We
waiting on him that killed with the sword to be killed with the sword.
Get down and lay down.
This is the faith and the patience of the saints.
That's right.
That's New Testament. Right? Let's go back to the Old Testament. Let's go to Zechariah. Zechariah chapter 8. We waiting on that, huh?
Yes, sir.
Zechariah chapter 8, 21 through 23. My bad. Yeah. Gotta get used to that.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so let's get it. Zechariah chapter 8, 21 through 23.
And the inhabitants of one city shall go to another, saying, let us go speedily to pray before Yahweh and to seek Yahweh of hosts. I will go also. Yea, many people in strong nations shall come to seek Yahweh of hosts in Jerusalem.
Oh, so the nations, they gotta come up.
They better.
They gotta come up to where we reside at.
They better.
You know what I'm saying? So I go ahead.
And pray before Yahweh.
Right.
And Yahweh's our hope. In those days shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Yahudim or Jew, saying, we will go with you.
Ooh.
For we have heard that Yahweh is with you.
So Zechariah on record.
Man, that's a lot of witnesses.
Letting you know the order. See, you gotta look at prophecy in order. If you don't look at prophecy in order, then you're gonna be out of place when you get to the New Testament. You know what I'm saying? Like you straight up jumping over the tribes being gathered, and then you jumping right to gathering with heathens.
That's right. Regina, the Lord may the Most High bless the work of your hands, sister.
Oh yeah, I appreciate the donations, y'all. Appreciate that. So here goes Zechariah on record, letting you know when the heathens cleave.
That's right.
After all 12 tribes are gathered. That's not hard, y'all. Now, let's jump back to the beginning.
Okay.
Now that we showed you the end, so when we get to the New Testament, we go on through the rest of this first part, you gonna know what the business is.
What it's all about.
You gonna know what it is. So let's get into it now. Let's go to Genesis 35. Oh, okay. Let's go to Genesis 35. Now watch this. Let's start with that. We finna start pulling some definitions now. Let me pull this blue letter up real quick. Oh, you already? Oh, okay.
I got an icon now.
All right. Let me see. Genesis. Oh, here we go. Boom, here we go. Got it up. All right, so let's get it. Genesis 35, verse 10 and 11.
All right.
Genesis 35, verse 10 and 11. Watch this. Go ahead.
And Yah said unto him, thy name is Jacob. Thy name shall not be called anymore Jacob, but Israel shall thy name be. Shall be thy name. And he called his name Israel.
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, 11.
Yeah.
And Yah said unto him, I am Yah Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee.
Oh, okay. So this ain't Abraham now.
Come on now.
This ain't Abraham when he said, and out of thee should be a father of many nations. This ain't who he talking to.
Nope.
Jacob.
Our daddy Jacob. That's right.
Who had 12 sons, and them 12 sons became the progenitors of the tribes of Israel.
That's right. That's right.
And he referred to them as he said a nation
and a company.
And a company of nations. Y'all, let's get a definition. Let's share this screen real quick. That's why I say for a lot of us, y'all, this is just a review. Let's get a word. All right. He said a nation, right? Let's look at that up. H1471. And the word is goy.
What?
Goy.
I don't know if all the people know what that means.
We finna see what it means. We finna see what it means.
Mm-hmm.
It says, the outline of biblical usage, it says nation, people, right? Usually of non-Hebrew. Let me go back. It says usually of non-Hebrew people, usually, right? Usually. See, somebody might say, see right there, what that word usually, that don't mean all the time.
Nope.
So you even got to slow down when you're reading the definitions. Just because you see usually of non-Hebrew people, that don't mean all the time.
What does it say up on it though?
Yeah, we're finna read. Look, it said of descendants of Abraham. Somebody might say, well, see, he had Bakatur, he had other sons, other nations. Okay, well, check this out. Of Israel. Of Israel. Now, what you gonna do with that? Right? So let's look up now. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let me see. Let's look up the word Gentiles in the Hebrew. Let's look up the word Gentiles in the Hebrew. Let's see what the Hebrew word for Gentiles is.
Mm-hmm.
Watch this. Oh, that's the same word.
Oh, okay.
So we got it right here in Genesis 35, 10 and 11.
Mm-hmm.
He said he told Jacob, who had 12 sons, those 12 sons came to progenitors of the tribes of Israel. He referred to them as Gentiles and a company of Gentiles.
Mm-hmm.
Because that word nation is goy, the same Hebrew word for Gentile.
That's right.
So right here in Genesis, he said, yo, you gonna be a goy and a company of goy, or Gentiles and a company of Gentiles.
That's it.
Telling you the 12 tribes of Israel was gonna be Gentiles right here in Genesis.
Gonna fall off. Gonna forsake the teaching.
Wow. Let's go to the next spot.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the next spot. Leviticus 25. Let's go to Leviticus 25. And what we finna point out here is in the Torah that the stranger that sojourneth among you and your bond servant is not the same thing.
Nope.
Because that's something that's been taught.
That's right.
Wrong. And we about to show here in the law how an Israelite can be considered a stranger. Let me pull this up. We're going to pull some definitions here. The stranger that sojourneth among you and your bond servant is not the same thing. We about to show that. Because brothers will go to the law and try to get to one the law for you that is homeborn and one to the stranger that sojourneth among you. See, brother, right there in the law.
Boy, I almost said it though. I ain't gonna even go there.
They say, see right there in the law. Me too, Tuvaya. Tuvaya said, I've been waiting to hear how a branch not part of the original tree gets grafted.
Come on now.
I'm still waiting to hear that too, Hebrew. I'm still waiting to hear that too. But we in Leviticus 25. We're in Leviticus 25. And let's pick this up in verse 35.
Okay.
Leviticus 25, verse 35. Let me click my. Okay. Okay, boom.
I got this.
All right. Go ahead.
And if thy brother be waxing poor,
okay,
and fall in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him. Yea, though he be a stranger, or a sojourner, that he may live with thee.
Okay, so now we see according to the Torah that an Israelite, because it said brother.
If thy brother,
and when you look up that in Hebrew, that's gonna say ak.
That's right.
Right? You never walked up to a heathen and said, "What's up, ak?"
No,
you ain't never did that. So stop. So a brother Israelite could be considered a stranger if he would wax poor, all right, and fell into decay. Now let's get stranger. Let's look that up. It says, do I got the screen? Nope. Let me boom. All right, check this out. Let's look up stranger in this verse, y'all. It says ger, or let's say pronunciation gar. Outline the biblical usage, or sojourner, a temporary inhabitant. Now check this definition out. This is also how an Israelite could be considered a stranger. We find out more how through the definition, right? Check this out. It says a newcomer lacking inherited rights.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So he might not have been. Why would he be lacking inherited rights? Because he wasn't born
in the land.
Right? We're gonna get more into that. It says of foreigners in Israel, though conceded rights. Strong's definition: a guest by implication, a foreigner, alien, sojourner, a stranger. All right. So let's get back to it. Verse 36. Go ahead.
Take thou no usury of him, or increase, but fear thy Yahweh, that thy brother may live with thee.
That's right.
Thou shalt not give him thy money upon usury, nor lend him victual for increase. For I am Yahweh your power, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, to give you the land of Canaan, to be your power. And if thy brother that dwelleth with thee.
Now check this out now. Let's read this real slow. Go ahead.
That dwelleth with thee be waxing poor, and be sold unto thee. Thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bond servant.
You can't compel your brother to serve as a bond servant.
That's right.
Right? Go ahead.
Verse 40. But as a hired servant, and as a sojourner, he shall be with thee, and shall serve thee until the year of Jubilee. And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him. And he shall return unto his own family, and unto the possession of his fathers shall he return. That's a lot in there.
That's a lot in there. So now we see another reason why he would be a stranger, because he ain't he don't have the possession of his father.
But how could a natural born heathen gentile be included in the year of Jubilee?
That's another.
They can't be included in the year of Jubilee.
Right.
They didn't practice the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High. So how would he be included in the year of Jubilee?
Exactly.
I'm trying to figure that one out. Oh, so the real year of Jubilee don't seem like they're gonna be in that Jubilee. Oh, okay. Well, I see a whole lot in here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then it said unto his possession. Then we ain't got no possession in Israel. I'm trying to figure all this out.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot in there, what we just read. I don't want to throw that in there.
And then this is another thing that we need to think about, right? This law was given when we was in the wilderness.
Right.
Now, you know what? We're going to get to that.
Okay.
We're going to get to it.
Verse 42.
Yeah.
For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. How many heathens came out of the company in Egypt? We got too much going on right here. For they were my servants in the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondmen.
Right.
That thou shalt not rule over them with rigor, but thou shalt fear thy power. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have. shall be of the heathen that are round about you.
Okay, so now it's a distinction.
Yep, there it is right there.
He said the bond service can't be your brother, meaning it can't be another Israelite.
No, he gonna be a hired servant.
It gotta be somebody that's not of your nation.
Yeah. I'm gonna read that again.
Go ahead.
Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids.
Okay, let's go to the next spot. So now we see an Israelite can be a stranger according to the law if he waxed poor, if he lack inherited rights. Right? And
that's
then we're gonna get into more history on why an Israelite would be a sojourner.
Come on.
It's gonna make so much sense, y'all. But let's go to the next spot, Exodus 12. Okay. Exodus 12, 43 through 49. Now watch this now. This is where it's really finna get sticky right here. It's really finna get sticky. Let me go to the blue letter real quick. All right, give me 1 second, y'all. Let me pull up. Okay, boom. Let's get it. Exodus chapter 12, verse 43. Go ahead.
And Yahweh said unto Moshe and Aaron, this is the ordinance of the Passover.
Right.
There shall no stranger eat thereof.
Okay, let's look that word up. He said this is the ordinance of the Passover. There shall no stranger eat of it. Let's look at it. But this stranger is H5236. This is Nakar.
What?
This wasn't the same one we read, the H1616 God.
Nope.
Okay. See what this one say. Outline of biblical usage.
Bring it out. Bring it out.
Alien. Foreignness. That which is foreign. Foreignness. Foreign God. So now we know which stranger we talking about.
That's right. That's right. Call it the God they worship.
Exactly. It says alien, foreigner, foreign vanities. Right? Look at that. Vanities. Foreign, a foreigner. Strong's definition, foreigner, heathenendom. Alien, strange, stranger. So he said, this stranger, appreciate your donations, KW. Most High bless you.
Most High bless you, sister.
All right, so verse 43 says, this is the ordinance of the Passover. There shall no stranger eat thereof. Verse 44.
But every man's servant that is bought for money, when thou hast circumcised him, then shall he eat thereof.
Now, we had a situation back at the old class where I was told personally by the head teacher I couldn't take the Passover with them.
Yep, it sure was.
Because of who I studied with.
Yeah.
But they got heathens up in there taking the Passover.
Come on now.
And the law just told you they can't take the Passover unless what? They bought with money, being circumcised.
That's right. And then, man, one of you niggas bought.
That's Torah. That's Torah.
We read book, brother.
That's Torah. Keep reading.
Verse 45.
Yeah.
A foreigner and an hired servant shall not eat thereof.
Right. Go ahead. So even if you say if you did get a heathen to do some work for you and you got him as a hired servant, he just therefore and he doing this work for like a week. And the Passover fall on that week. And he like, man, let me keep Passover. Man, look, you just here for a week.
No, bro, no.
You know what I'm saying? He said a stranger and a hired servant. He said, a foreigner and a hired servant shall not eat thereof. Go ahead.
In one house shall it be eaten. Thou shalt not carry forth aught of the flesh abroad out of the house, neither shall ye break a bone thereof.
Okay.
And all the congregation of Israel shall keep it.
Yeah.
All the congregation of Israel shall keep it. And when a stranger shall sojourn with thee.
Hold on, what?
A stranger.
Go ahead.
shall sojourn with thee, and will keep the Passover to Yahweh. Let all his males be circumcised, and then let him come near and keep it. And he shall be as one that is born in the land. For no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof.
All right, now let's look at the stranger in this verse. Let's look at the stranger in this verse and see if it's the same as the last one.
There you go.
It is.
48.
8. Boom. Yes, we do. All right. Let's look at this stranger. 8:16:16. Look at that. A temporary inhabitant. A newcomer lacking inherited rights. Now, this is where this comes in. This is where this is
important. Come on, bring it out, bro.
Because he said, and when a stranger shall sojourn with thee and will keep the Passover, let all his male be circumcised, and then let him come there and keep it, and he shall be one that is born in the land. Hold on now. Who would this apply to at the time this was given? And we was all in the wilderness when this was given.
Thank you.
Everybody that was there was born in Egypt.
That's right.
So what are he talking about to him that is homeborn?
He talking fusion.
So what are we seeing? What are we seeing here with the law, y'all? We seeing the law being prophetic, or we seeing it prophesied. We seeing it already have provisions on the books for when these conditions will befall Israel.
Right. That's right.
Why is it that we read stranger in the same section, but it's the same word in two different definitions?
Come on now, bring it out.
That itself calls for some type of inspection. You can't just keep reading and think you got to understand it when it's
That's
something
right.
like that going on.
You would be confused in verse 43 when it said no stranger shall eat thereof.
Yeah.
Then you go down 48 where the stranger can eat thereof, you be served.
Right. So I mean, which one is it?
That's confusion if you don't get to understand.
If you don't, right.
But they told us, man, you don't need no recorder. All you need is a good dictionary. Now you don't need no recorder. Just get you a good dictionary.
That's what they say. That's what they say. But that men say a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So there would be a future condition of brothers of Israelites being homeborn Judeans, homeborn in the land, and brothers would be born outside of the land, coming back lacking inherited rights.
Come on now, that's another qualifier.
Lacking inherited rights.
To even be considered to even have not no inherited rights, you still got to be of Israel.
Right.
Cause can't no Egyptian come, man, I ain't got no inherited right, let me take the Passover. But you ain't no Israelite.
No, you ain't bought with money, or you not circumcised.
No, and you ain't not of the bloodline.
Exactly.
He didn't bring no Egyptians out of Egypt.
Right. The mixed multitude, but get what? They all got killed in the wilderness.
Thank you. So,
and then when we was organizing amongst ourselves again in Ezra time, it was another mixed multitude that came up with the Israelites. And what happened? Look, put them wives, them strange wives, and them children, get them out of here. Get them out of here. Even then, the nation was not together. And you had heathens trying to cleave, and he told them to get away.
Come on now.
You had heathens cleave to us coming out of Egypt, the Egyptians, the mixed multitude, which was Egyptians that had got with Israelites. That's all that was. It wasn't a slew of Greeks and Chinamen and look, stop all that.
Most of them were women that the Israelites had married while they was in Egypt.
Because when you look up mixed multitude, it say the mongrel race. So that's people who mixed.
That's it.
That's all that is. And both times when you look at the mixed multitude, when they tried to cleave with us, they got knocked off.
Yep.
So now we see the law being prophetic, prophesying of a condition that Israel wasn't even in at the time this was given. Right. So let's go to another spot.
I gotta read 49.
Go ahead, my bad.
One law shall be to him that is homeborn.
See, they go right there. See?
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean that is homeborn? Well, none of them born in Israel.
When this was given, show what?
Go ahead.
That is homeborn and unto the stranger that sojourneth among you.
Oh, let's look at that. Let's see. Let's just see what the stranger is in that verse. Let's see. Is it 8:16? Stranger that sojourneth among you. We didn't already got it. Look. It's 8:16.
Come on now.
The same one, y'all. Temporary inhabitant, new coming, lacking inherited rights.
For the Israelite stranger, not the other stranger.
So look, then now check out what he said. Because and remember this when we get to the New Testament, he said, after the stranger that sojourneth among you, which to keep Passover after he is circumcised, he shall be one.
As you are. He's gonna be as you are.
Oh, okay. That's starting to make a little sense, huh? Let's go look at another spot. Deuteronomy 28. We all know this. Deuteronomy 28. We're gonna read 53 through 54. Then we're gonna jump down to verse 64. Deuteronomy 28, 53 through 54. Go ahead.
And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which Yahweh thy power hath given thee, in the siege and in the straitness wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee.
Yeah.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother.
Shall what?
His eye shall be evil toward his brother.
Now, was the curses on Israel at the time this was given?
Nope.
So this is the law being prophetic. Example of the law being prophetic once again, telling you of a future condition that will befall Israel. The hatred between each other, the tribes.
Come on now, bring it out.
Go ahead.
And toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
Skip down to verse 64. 64. Go ahead.
And Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth, even unto the other.
That's another example of it being prophetic. They was all in the wilderness.
That's right.
At the time.
Go
ahead.
And there thou shalt serve other gods, which thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
All right, so now he's saying, now we got the law being prophetic about the hatred between the brethren, and how we would be scattered and dispersed among the nations, and then how we would take upon the worship of these nations.
That's right.
And when you take upon the worship, you take upon the lifestyle, because a Muslim worships a certain way and lives a certain way. A Buddhist worships a certain way and lives a certain way. So if you taking up the worship of other gods, you quite naturally, your lifestyle is going to be like whatever nation God you worship.
That's right.
The law being prophetic once again. Let's go to Deuteronomy 17.
All right.
Let's look at another example of the law being prophetic of a future condition that will befall Israel. So we got Israel, Jacob being told that a company of Gentiles would come out of him. And he had 12 sons.
That's right.
And his 12 sons went on to have the 12 tribes of Israel. So those were the company of nations.
Come on, man.
Each tribe being a nation. Okay. Let's get it. Deuteronomy 17. Let's do 14 through 17.
All right.
Let's get it.
When thou art coming unto the land which Yahweh thy power giveth thee, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom Yahweh thy power shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee.
Our first king, y'all, went into like 300 years after this. That was King Saul. So why is what Israel can't perform none of this that he reading right now?
Okay.
So again, the law being prophetic about a future condition is the time will soon come that we would have a king. And this is the law he had to follow. This is the blueprint the king had to follow. Go ahead.
Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee.
Do we need to get that?
Which is not thy brother.
Let's get that. Let's
get it.
You know, let's just see. People think we making this up. Verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
Deuteronomy 17 and 15. Let's look up this stranger in this verse right here. Thou should not set a stranger. Look, that's not H16:16, is it?
So not.
Look at this. This is H. This is another one. This is H52:37.
Mm-hmm.
Nokri. Foreign, alien, foreigner, foreign woman, harlot, unknown, unfamiliar.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so somebody who's not familiar
with your customs,
with your law, cannot be a king.
Nope.
So this is not AC. This is not the newcomer lacking inherited rights.
Nope.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Let's get it. Go ahead.
But he shall not multiply horses to himself, nor cause the people to return to Mitzrayim, to the end that he should multiply horses, for as much as Yahweh has said unto you, ye shall henceforward return no more that way.
All right. Let's drop that. Let's go to the next spot. 1 Kings.
All right.
Let's go look at this split. Let's get into the split and the hatred between the tribes. And when we get to the New Testament, it can't be saying nothing different than what we gonna read, y'all, in this first part. It can't be saying nothing different. Let's go to 1 Kings chapter 11. Let's pick it up at verse 8 through 11.
And likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burnt incense and sacrificed unto their gods.
Yeah.
And Yahweh was angry with Solomon, because his heart was turned from Yahweh, the power of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice, and had commanded him concerning this thing, that he should not go after other gods, but he kept not which Yahweh commanded him.
Yeah.
Wherefore Yahweh said unto Solomon, for as much as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my covenant and my statutes, which I have commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from thee.
I will do what?
Rend the kingdom from thee.
Oh, so now we see how these two sticks became apart, broken apart.
That's it.
Solomon fell and the kingdom was rended from him. Go ahead.
And I will give it to thy servant. Notwithstanding in thy... That was it?
Okay. Jump down to 27. Let's jump down to 27. Let's jump down to 27. And this
was the cause that he lifted up his hand against King Solomon, built Milo, and repaired the breaches of the city of David his father. And the man Jeroboam was a mighty man of valor. And Solomon, seeing the young man that he was industrious, he made him ruler over all the charge of the house of Joseph. And it came to pass that time that when Jeroboam went out of Jerusalem, that the prophet Ahijah the Shilonite found him in the way, and he had clad himself with a new garment.
Boy, he just got his new outfit on, boy, new Levi's, new garment on. Let's see what happened to it.
And they two were alone in the field. And Ahijah caught the new garment that was on him and rent it in 12 pieces.
Cut it in 12 pieces. Go ahead.
And he said to Jeroboam, take thee 10 pieces, for thus said Yahweh, the power of Israel, behold, I will rend the kingdom out of the hand of Solomon, and will give 10 tribes to thee. And he shall have 1 tribe for my servant David's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, the city which I have chosen out of all the tribes of Israel. Because that they have forsaken me, and have worshipped Ashtaroth, the god of the Zidonians, Chemosh, the god of the Moabites, Milcom, the god of Ammon, and have walked not in my ways to do that which is right in mine eyes, and to keep mine statutes and my judgments, as did David his father.
Let's get down and read 35 and 36.
And I will take the kingdom out of his son's hand. I will give it unto thee, even 10 tribes.
Yeah.
And unto his son I will give 1 tribe, that David my servant may have a light always before me in Jerusalem. the city which I have chosen to put my name there.
All right, and if we read in other places, we'll see eventually Benjamin and Levi stayed with Judah, and they stayed home in Jerusalem. Right, that's what we just read in verse 36. The 10 tribes went north of Jerusalem and made their capital Samaria. All right, so now that the nation is split, y'all, we had different kings, different priests, different feast days, all that.
Jeroboam, he did all, he changed the feast days, he appointed jokers that went under the tribes of Levi, and made them priests. He did all kind of stuff.
Let's go to the next spot, 1 Kings 15. 1 Kings 15. So now that the nations are split, because of Solomon did what he did, now we see how the sticks was apart even in the first place. Let's go look at this. Let's go look at this enmity between the tribes, y'all. If we read all through 1 Kings, you will see, y'all, we was warring with each other, going to war, killing each other. But there was prophecy. Deuteronomy 28.
That's right.
53 and 54.
We read that, brother.
The law being prophetic. Let's get it. What was it? 1 Kings 15, 17 through 24.
And Baasha, king of Israel, went up against Yehuda.
Went up against who?
Judah.
So the king of Israel went up against Judah. It's straight civil war right here. Go ahead.
And built Ramah, that he might not suffer any to go out or come in unto Asa, king of Judah. And Asa took all the silver and the gold that were left in the treasures of the house of Yahweh, and the treasures of the king's houses, and delivered them into the hand of his servants. And King Asa sent to Benadad, the son of Tabimon, the son of Hezion, king of Syria, and dwelt at Damascus, saying, there is a league between me and thee, and between my father and thy father. Behold, I have set unto thee a present of silver and gold. Come and break thy league with Baasha, king of Israel. Yo, scheming on this, boy.
Boy, look at this. Look at this enmity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
That he may depart from me. So Ben-Hadad hearkened unto King Asa, and sent the captains of the host which he had against the cities of Israel, and smote Ejon and Dan, Abel Beth Makkah, and all of Seneroth, with all the land of Naphtali. And it came to pass when Baasha heard thereof, that he left off building of Ramah and dwelt in Tisra. And then King Asa made a proclamation throughout all Judah. None was exempted, and they took away the stones of Ramah and the timber thereof, wherewith Baasha had built. And King Asa built with them Geba of Benjamin and Mizpah.
All right, let's drop that. I just wanted to go and show you that the hatred had got so thick between us that we was actually going to war with each other.
Paying jokers off too.
Paying jokers off, making allies with other nations to get your brother up out of here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let's go look at the hatred even further. Let's go to Zechariah chapter 11. Let's go to Zechariah chapter 11. All this is pertinent to understanding the New Testament.
That's right.
Because then when you get to Ephesians, then you start talking about the middle wall of partition. Well, what you talking about?
Come on now.
Then you think that's talking about he tore down the hatred between us and these heathens still hate us.
Yep. Ain't no middle wall partition been torn down on that.
Boy, don't none of that doctrine make sense the more you really look at this thing.
I ain't gonna say it.
Don't say it.
And see, you got to start to question the validity. And man, I ain't gonna say nothing. I don't know about think I'm railing on the elder, man. But you got to start questioning the validity of everything that comes out of some of these elders' mouths, because if you mess this up, and some of them intentionally mess it up, just because of the money thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of the truth and the righteousness, bro, and it is what it is. Look, we're gonna read next week. They already label us a hate group. The what do you call it? National Poverty Law Center.
Oh, yeah.
They already call us a hate group. So I mean, it is what it is. We just reading the scriptures. But you got jokers selling out for that dollar bill.
See, you got Negroes that say lessons like this is preaching hate.
Man, we ain't preaching no hate. We reading the Bible. Man. We didn't write nothing in this book.
Not one time that we say in the kingdom to come, we gonna be snatching white women babies out their stomach and stumping on. We ain't say that.
Nah, ain't gonna say it because it ain't written. It ain't written, man.
We ain't finna go snatch Chinese woman baby out her arms and go down there to the lake and dangle in the lake to catch some crocodiles and alligators.
Now time did we say we gonna turn around and buck break y'all men in front of y'all women and degrade y'all? We ain't said nothing. All we said, y'all going into captivity and Israel gonna be ruled. Yeah. Now you got a problem with it. You got a problem with the Bible. Stop toting it around. Or do this. Start reading it with some understanding.
That's right. Because we ain't write this.
No.
And we shouldn't have to tell you that. My name ain't Amos, Isaiah, or Zechariah.
Nah. And it ain't King James.
Right. All right, so let's get this Zechariah 11. Let's pick it up at verse 9.
All right.
Zechariah 11, 9 through 14. Go ahead.
Then said I will not feed you. That thou died. Let it die.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not cut off, let it be cut off. And let the rest eat every one the flesh of another.
Okay, go ahead.
And I took my staff. I took my staff.
That's a stick, ain't it? Okay, go ahead.
Even beauty. And cut it asunder, that I might break my covenant which I made with all the people.
This sounds like Ezekiel 37.
Come on now.
Go ahead.
And it was broken in that day. And so the poor of the flock that waited upon me knew that it was the word of Yahweh.
Okay, go ahead.
And I said unto them, if ye think good, give me my price. If not, forbear. And they weighed for my price 30 pieces of silver.
Right.
And Yahweh said unto me, cast it into the potter, a goodly price that was prized of them. And I took the 30 pieces of silver and cast them to the potter in the house of Yahweh.
Verse 14, what it say?
Then I cut asunder mine other staff.
That's a stick, ain't it?
Yep.
Oh, okay, I'm just making sure now.
Even bands. That I might break the brotherhood between Judah and Israel.
Oh, so the brotherhood between Judah and Israel is being broken.
It's broke.
And the tribe still ain't one to this day.
Nope.
So the brotherhood is still broken.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's go to the next spot.
All right.
We're just looking at the enmity between the tribes.
Come on now.
Isaiah 9. Isaiah 9, 19 through 21. All this is pertinent to know. Because that's why Peter say you got to be learned in the prophets.
Come on now.
Before you hop over there to Paul and just start reading Paul.
Yeah. New Testament scholars.
But see, if you don't know none of this stuff, you're going to get over there and think he talking about all nations. Isaiah 9, 19 through 21. When you get it, go ahead.
Though the wrath of Yahweh of hosts is the land dark. Let me start that over again. Through the wrath of Yahweh, Zabaoth, is the land dark.
Yeah.
And the people shall be as the fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother.
There it is again. Go ahead.
And he shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry. And he shall eat on the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied. They shall eat every man the flesh of his own arm.
Go ahead, 21.
Manasseh, Ephraim, Manasseh. and they together shall be against Judah.
What they should be against Judah.
Against Judah.
Go ahead.
For all this anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out.
His hand is stretched out still. They go another precept
Mm-hmm.
about the Ephraim and Judah.
Mm-hmm.
The names that was written on the 2 sticks.
Come on now.
Beefing. Isaiah told you. All right, now let's go to Jeremiah chapter 3. So far we got the parable of the 2 sticks.
Come on now.
Then we see all the heathens is going to be had in possession in the future age. Then we got Jacob being told he was going to have a company of Gentiles was going to come out of him.
Come on now.
Also, what we know from the parable of the 2 sticks, Israel ain't one nation.
Nope. Stranger can't take over. A heathen-born Gentile stranger
cannot take the Passover. Right.
And ain't none of y'all Negroes bought none of them, so that still a disqualified.
Right. And we also see the law being prophetic about the hatred of the brothers. We see the law being prophetic about Israel being strangers and sojourners.
Yep.
And so we know that the stranger that sojourneth among you is a fellow Israelite, which it still may be some gray around there for a lot of people. We're going to clear it up as this first part go on. You're going to see it clearly by the end of this first part. All right, where we at? Jeremiah 3, pick up verse 1. Let's get it.
They say if a man put away and she go from him and become another man's, shall he return unto her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted?
Yeah, it should. Go ahead.
But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers, yet return again to me, say Yahweh.
You see that? So wait a minute. He said you didn't play the harlot with many lovers. Then he brought up some that's in our Torah about husband and wife.
That's right. Can't go back.
So Israel being looked at as a wife. We see that according to the scriptures. All right, go ahead.
Lift up thine eye unto the high places, and see what thou hast been lain with in the ways. Hast thou sat for them as the Arabian in the wilderness, and thou hast polluted the land with thy whoredoms, with thy wickedness. Therefore the shower have been withholden, and there has been no latter rain. And thou hast a whore's forehead, thou refusest to be ashamed.
See that? Go ahead.
Will not from this time cry unto me, my father, thou art the God of my youth? Will he reserve his anger forever? Will he keep it to the end? Behold, thou hast spoken and done evil things as thou couldst. Yahweh said also unto me in the days of Josiah the king, hast thou seen that which backsliding Israel has done? She has gone up upon every high mountain and under every green tree, and there have played the harlot. And I said, after she had done all these things, turn thou to me. But she returned not. And her treacherous sister Judah saw. And I saw when for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery.
They did what?
Committed adultery.
Oh, Israel committed adultery. The northern tribe.
Yay.
It's a spot in Hosea say, man, Ephraim transgressed most bitterly.
Yep. So does, brother.
Man, read that book of Hosea when y'all get a chance. Y'all be like, dang, they went off.
Hey.
They went off. And he said, man, that because he likened the worship of other gods to adultery. It's spiritual adultery.
That's right.
Now look at what he said pertaining to the house of Israel, the northern tribes. Go ahead.
Right. He can back up to the top 8.
Yeah.
And I saw when for all the causes where backsliding Israel committed adultery, I had put her away and given her a bill of divorce.
I did what?
Given her a bill of divorce.
A bill of divorce. Let's look up divorce. That's how we doing. We just reading scriptures and looking up words, y'all. That's it. And people be mad at us for doing that. For reading scriptures and looking up words.
Don't get mad, get some understanding.
All right. What am I doing?
Oh, verse 8.
Okay, verse 8. I gave her a bill of divorce, right?
Right.
Let me share the screen. All right, so divorce is H3748.
Mm-hmm.
Outline biblical use divorce, dismissal, divorcement. Strong's definition: a cutting of the matrimonial bond.
You done. We ain't together no more. We ain't got no ties.
So you ain't keeping tabs on me. I ain't keeping tabs on you. You ain't
We
worried about
got
what I'm
zero
doing.
ties.
I ain't worried about what you doing.
Mm-mm.
Y'all know how it is between two humans when they separate. So if the Most High gave the northern tribes a bill of divorce, and that language is not in there for Judah.
Mm-mm. No.
Judah didn't get a bill of divorce.
Nope. So didn't.
So if he cut you off,
washed his hands,
then what? I mean, what are you then?
ain't checking for you no more.
You a stranger.
Bill of divorce.
Okay.
You free to go dilly-dally with whoever you want to go dilly-dally with.
Yeah. This thing starting to unfold. I don't know if y'all starting to see it or not, but I am. Go ahead.
In the 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yet her treacherous sister Judah feared not, but went and played the harlot also. Excuse me. And it came to pass through the likeness of her whoredom, that she defiled the land and committed adultery with stones and with stocks. And yet for all this, her treacherous sister Judah hath not turned unto me with her whole heart, but vainly said Yahweh.
Yeah.
And Yahweh said unto me, the backsliding Israel has justified herself more than treacherous Judah. Go and proclaim these words toward the north and say, return thou backsliding Israel, said Yahweh, and I will not cause mine anger to fall upon you, for I am merciful, said Yahweh, and I will not keep my anger. Keep anger, forever.
All right, now check this verse 13. Now watch this, y'all. This is a bomb right here when I read this. Go ahead.
Only acknowledge thine iniquity. That thou hast transgressed against Yahweh thy power. And hast scattered thy ways to the stranger under every green tree.
I have what?
And have thy way to the strangers under every green tree.
You see that thou hast transgressed against the Lord thy God and hast scattered thy ways to the strangers. Now, what do that? Let's look at that word "way." What did he mean? Scatter thy ways to the strangers. Let's see what he talking about. Thy ways. What that word said? They say Derek. All right, so way is H1870. Let's see what it says. Outline of biblical uses: way, road, distance, journey, manner. I've scattered thy manner. Manners.
The way you live.
Road, path, journey, direction, manner, habits. So I done scattered your manners, and when you look up the word manner, you're gonna get customs.
That's right.
I done scattered your customs to the strangers. I done scattered your habits. You even got habits of the strangers.
That's right.
Right? He said your way. Now check out E. It says course of life. I have scattered your course of life to the strangers. Moral character. Your moral character, you acting like you really think you a heathen in your mind.
Like it is these days.
Check this out. Strong's definition: figuratively, a course of life or a mode of action.
Mode of action.
I have your mode of action is scattered to that of the heathen. Since you didn't want to hold on and cling to these manners, these habits, this way of life, this moral character, I done scattered it to the heathens. You gonna act like them now.
That's right.
This in the prophets now. This in the prophets.
That's right. I don't know how you gonna get around this.
Then we read in Deuteronomy 28, he said, when I scatter you amongst these nations, you gonna worship like them.
Yep. Stones and stocks.
Then Genesis 35, 10 and 11, he told Jacob, a company of Gentiles gonna come out of you.
Prophetic.
Man, look. Go to the next
In
one.
13.
Yeah, my bad.
And ye have not obeyed my voice, said Yahweh. Turn, O backsliding children, said Yahweh. For I am married unto you.
I am what?
I am married unto you. And I will take you one of a city and two of a family. Yeah. And I will bring you to Zion. That's it.
All right. I'll go to Ezekiel 14. Ezekiel 14. Now we see why these two mixes split. Both of them got a bill of divorce. Then he say, I'm going to scatter your ways, your course of life, your moral character, your habits to the strangers. Ezekiel 14, 1-7. Watch this.
And came certain of the elders of Israel unto me and sat before me. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, these men have set up idols in their heart and put the stumbling block of their iniquity before their face. Should I be inquired at all by them? Therefore speak unto them and say unto them, Thus saith Yahweh our power. Every man of the house of Israel that set up his idol in his heart and put the stumbling block of his iniquity before his face and cometh to the prophet, I Yahweh will answer him that cometh according to the multitude of his idol.
Verse 5.
And that I may take the house of Israel in their own heart, because they are estranged. They all are estranged from me through their eyes.
He said the house of Israel. The house of Israel is estranged.
That's right.
Ooh, let's get estranged. Let's see what that means. Let's get estranged. This is one of my favorite scriptures to go to when you talking about this topic right here.
Right.
You just can't get around this now. All right, estranged is H21:14. Zer. Outline of biblical usage: to be a stranger, to be strange, be a stranger. To become estranged. How you become estranged? From being separated.
Separated. No longer cared for.
I know you sisters know about that. As much as y'all watch the ID channel, all you hear on there, she was killed by his estranged wife or his estranged husband. Boy, she bruised sit up there and watch that ID channel like it's the only channel on the fire stick, boy. It says strange, another, stranger, foreigner. So Israel has become foreigners to me through their idols, or have become strangers to me through their idols. That's what he told Jacob.
Yep. He said they're gonna become what? Nations.
Yep. And how would they become that? Through worship and through lifestyle, through mindset. They still Israelites.
That's right.
By blood.
Bloodline.
Mindset, though, they are straight up heathen. Heathen. It says loathsome of breath, strange woman, prostitute, harlot. To be estranged. Now check this out. To be a stranger. Be one alienated. Alienated. Ooh-wee. To be one alienated. Woo! That's some heat right there, ain't it?
Yep.
All right, remember all these definitions now. Don't let none of this stuff escape your head.
Right. Through
these 2 parts. We just doing 2 parts. That's all they gonna take. Keep all these things in mind. Go ahead.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
Therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith Yahweh, repent and turn yourselves from your idol, and turn away your faces from all your abominations.
Now look at this verse 7. He finna put the finger on exactly like we already ain't deal.
Right.
But this just finna seal the deal right here. Go ahead, verse 7. Read it.
For everyone of the house of Israel,
right,
or of the stranger that sojourneth in Israel,
or of the who,
or of the stranger that sojourneth in Israel, which separated himself from me.
Oh. The stranger that sojourneth among Israel, which separated himself
from me.
Okay, go ahead.
And set up his idol in his heart or in his mind, and put it the stumbling block of iniquity before his face, and coming to the prophet to inquire of him concerning me, I Yahweh will answer him by myself.
He said the house of Israel. He was talking about the house of Israel and their idols. Then he mentioned the stranger that sojourneth among you, which separated himself.
Come on now. So he had to stop doing what joined him to the Most High.
Exactly.
So your actions and what you do separate you from the Most High.
So in the Old Testament, it identifies clearly who the strangers that sojourned amongst.
That's right.
The Israelites are. These are other Israelites. You can read that by definition and by context. Leviticus 25, Ezekiel 14 and 7. Then when you pull the definition, it's crystal clear.
Come on, man.
That was it on that?
That was it. That was verse 7.
Let's go to Hosea 9.
All right.
Okay. If we get some understanding so far, if everybody understanding what we done hit so far, let me get some sevens up in the room. We can throw some sevens up in there, the 10 for the commandments, 8 for the 8th day, whichever one you want to do.
Hallelujah.
All right. Let's get this. All right, let's go to the next spot. We got a bunch of sevens over here. Everybody get some understanding. Let's go to this next spot, Hosea 9, 15 through 17. This is another witness. This is another witness.
Bomb drop.
All right. Amos 9, 15 through 17. When you get it, go ahead.
All their wickedness is in Gilgal. For there I hated them. For the wickedness of their doings, I will drive them out of mine house.
Guess who he talking about? That them northern tribes.
That's it.
When I tell you, when y'all get a chance to read this book, y'all gonna be like, man, I see why he gave them a bill of divorce.
Yeah, that was something serious, man.
Go ahead.
I will love them no more.
Ooh.
All their princes are revolters.
And when you look at all their kings, they didn't have one righteous king.
We had a few.
Judah had a few, but Israel, they didn't even have one. They didn't even have one. They didn't even have a brother that started off good, then went off.
No.
All of them started wicked and ended wicked.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Ephraim is smitten.
Their
root is dried up.
Wait a minute. A root?
Come on now.
You talking about trees?
Yep. Their root is dried up.
Oh, the root is dried up. So when if the root dried up, that means the tree dead, right?
Dead, man.
So when the tree finally come back to life and the branches start growing, something that were dead, they might be a little wild. When they start growing, when the branches start growing back on the tree that was dead.
That's right. Come on now. Come on.
A lot of people out there might not be catching my drift, but I know you catch my drift.
I got you.
Okay, go ahead.
They shall bear no fruit.
Oh.
Yeah. Though they bring forth, yet will I slay even the beloved fruit of their womb. My Yah will cast them away because they did not hearken unto him. And they shall be wanderers.
They shall be what?
Wanderers among the nations.
They should be wanderers. Okay, K-Dub, Regina Dolores son, they catch my drift up in here. Hallelujah. But that verse 17 said, Ephraim shall be wanderers among the nations. What is another word for wanderers? What we just read in Ezekiel 14:7.
Sojourner.
So the law is putting the finger on who the sojourners are.
We have a more sure word than prophets. We have a more sure word of prophet.
The picture is already halfway painted. Like we can already see how the rest of this picture is gonna finish already. We already see it.
Come on now.
Let's go to Hosea chapter 1. Let's go to Hosea chapter 1. Hosea chapter 1. Hosea chapter 1.
Mm-hmm.
Another word for wanderer is sojourner. For you Negroes who don't like to use the concordance, just type in wanderer synonyms and see what you get.
Come on now.
Just type that in. Look it up in the concordance if you use the concordance. All right, Hosea chapter 1, 2 through 11. Let's get it. Hosea chapter 1, 2 through 11. So now we got our ways, our course of life being scattered to the heathens,
mm-hmm.
on top of Deuteronomy 28:64, mm-hmm. us being scattered to the nations. Mm-hmm. Right? Then we show how Israelites can be strangers if you wax poor. Then by definitions, if you lack inherited rights, it was a newcomer lacking inherited rights.
Come on, man. Lay it out.
Then we just hit Ezekiel. Then we read in that Jeremiah how the house of Israel is divorced.
Yep.
All right. So how do we get to the New Testament? The tribes still ain't together. That means the house of Israel is still divorced. Mm-hmm. But you bring your heathens in before the house of Israel is reconciled.
Right.
How is that? According to what prophets laid that order out?
Exactly.
What prophets laid that order out?
And where in the New Testament do you see other nations allowed in the temple? They ain't allowed in there.
They ain't allowed in there. We can go to Revelation and bust that open. Revelation 11 is the outer court is for the Gentiles. That's always how it always been. When you look up the setup to the tabernacle,
mm-hmm. They ain't even allowed in.
The gates in the kingdom of heaven.
That's it. So much so he said, "Hey man, the courtway leave out because it's given. I don't even want them standing where I'm gonna be sick." Yeah. He said the courtway leave out. It's given to the Gentiles. But y'all gonna throw them up in the kingdom. Mm-hmm. They gonna be sitting right up under your shoe.
Right.
They gonna roll through one of the gates.
And this was so crazy. When we get to talking about stuff like that, people always say, "Well, what about look." This heathen not talking about, well, what about you in his kingdom?
Come on, man.
How long you been here? On the bottom.
Yeah. Well, what about the black man?
He never said, well, man, what about these Negroes, man? Let's
do something for them.
Get them some better jobs.
Better give them a stimulus check.
a few little tokenism symbols.
Yeah.
Harriet Tubman on a $20 bill with that. That.
Yeah. They'll be crying and some more stuff.
Yeah. He not saying, well, what about the Negro in his kingdom? Mm-hmm. And he getting his with no remorse.
Yeah, none.
Getting his. But when we start talking about the kingdom to come, right? It's what about another nation? Look at Tuvaya. Tuvaya, you in part 2 too, Hebrew. You know we gonna pull that one out, Key. You know we gonna pull that one. Let's get this Hosea 1, 2 through 11. Hosea 1, 2 through 11. When you get it, go ahead.
The beginning of the word of Yahweh by Hosea.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahweh said unto Hosea, go take unto thee a wife of the whore.
You see that? Go take you a wife that's a hoe.
That's right.
Cause I want to show you how it feel to be married to a hoe.
That's it.
Ooh.
That's it. Lay it out plain.
Go ahead.
And children of whoredom, for the land has committed great whoredom, departing from Yahweh.
Yeah.
And he went and took Gomer, the daughter of Diblath, which conceived and bare him a son. And Yahweh said unto him, call his name Jezreel, for yet a little while, and I will avenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu.
Uh-huh.
And I will cause to cease the kingdom of the house of Israel.
I will cause the what?
I will cause to cease the kingdom of the house of Israel.
You see the language that's being used when it comes to the northern tribes. Now he not playing with them.
No.
At all.
It's real. It's real in the field right now.
Go ahead.
Verse 5. And it shall come to pass at that day that I will break the bow of Israel in the valley of Jezreel.
Mm-hmm.
And she conceived again and bare a daughter. And Yah said unto him, call her name Lo-Ruhumah.
Uh-huh.
For I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel.
It will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel.
Mm-mm.
Go ahead.
But I will utterly take them away. But I will have mercy upon the house of Judah.
Mm.
And it will save them by the power of their power.
Mm.
And I will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, by horses, nor by horsemen.
Mm.
Now, when he has weaned Lo-Ruhumah, she conceived and bare a son. Then said Yah, call his name Lo-Ami, for ye are not my people.
Oh, hold on now. For ye are not my people.
For ye are not my people.
All right, so if I done gave you a bill of divorce,
Mm-hmm.
I done cut off your matrimonial bond.
That's right. You estranged.
You estranged.
Mm-hmm.
You done became estranged. You done became alienated.
You a spiritual whore.
You a spiritual whore. And then you not my people.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you then?
All inherited rights gone.
It ain't nothing left else to call you.
Mm-hmm. But a stranger.
But a stranger, y'all. This stuff is not hard to. This is not a hard concept.
We ain't building no watches. We ain't building no watches.
No.
We ain't trying to put nobody on the remote.
No.
Yeah, okay.
This ain't hard. He called the house of Israel not a people.
That's right.
Okay, go ahead.
And I will not be your power.
Mm.
Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered.
Yeah.
And it shall come to pass that in the place where it is said unto them, ye are not my people,
Woo.
there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God.
Oh, so the same people that it was said to, ye are not my people. Because it was an apostle that quoted this. A very famous apostle that he quoted this scripture right here.
That's right.
We're going to get to it next part.
Mm-hmm.
So the people that it was said to, ye are not my people, which is the house of Israel, it should be said to them, ye are the sons of the living God.
Mm-hmm.
So now, on top of you being divorced, you not a people to the Most High.
He don't even recognize you.
Wow. That was it on that?
Verse 11.
Verse 11, go ahead.
Then shall the children of Yehudah
and
the children of Israel be gathered together and appoint themselves one head. And they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel.
All right. Let's go to the next spot. Flip over to Hosea 2. 1 through 3, then we're going to skip. I'm pretty sad.
Okay.
Hosea 2, 1 through 3, then we're going to skip.
One through what?
Hosea 2, 1 through 3.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Say ye unto your brethren enmity, and to your sister Ruhumah, plead with your mother, plead, for she is not my wife.
Oh.
She is not my wife, neither am I her husband.
I told you, boy, he was talking greasy to the northern tribe. Boy.
Let her therefore put away her whoredoms out of her sight, and her adultery from between her breasts. Lest I strip her naked and set her as in the day that she was born, and make her as a wilderness, and set her like a dry land, and slay her with thirst.
All right, so who is not the wife of the Most High? The house of Israel.
That's right, brother. No other king.
He said, I divorced him in Jeremiah, right? Let's skip down to verse 16 through 23. Go ahead.
And it shall be at that day, said Yahweh, that thou shalt call me Ishai, and shall call me no more Baali. For I will take away the names of Baalim out of her mouth.
That's right.
And they shall no more be remembered by their name. And in that day I will make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field and with the fowls of heaven, and with the creeping things of the ground, and I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth, and I will make them to lie down safe, and I will betroth thee unto me forever. Yea, I will betroth thee unto me in righteousness and in judgment and in loving kindness and in mercy.
We see reconciliation in the Old Testament.
Yeah.
So now he's talking about being betrothed back to the wife that he divorced. Reconciliation in the Old Testament. Then one of the apostles say, I have the ministry of reconciliation.
Who is that?
Man, who is this apostle, man?
See, Brother Paul.
Now, if you had the ministry of reconciling somebody, you trying to get two people that was together back together.
Not somebody who ain't never known somebody. I can't be reconciled to somebody I ain't never been reconciled with.
That's right.
I had to be reconciled to be reconciled.
So we see it in the Old Testament. A lot of people think that's a New Testament reconciliation. See, how can you talk about reconciliation? I don't give it away, Hebrew. Don't give it away, Aki.
Yep.
You talking about the heathens in the New Testament is fellow earth. Then you gonna say a word reconciliation?
Don't even go together.
Don't even make sense.
But hey, it's a doctrine that's been around in Israel too long.
Yeah.
Like some of these elders been around. Well,
let
me be quiet.
What verse are we at?
We at verse 19.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse 19, and I will betroth thee unto me forever. Yea, I will betroth thee unto me in righteousness and in judgment and in loving kindness and in mercy. I will even betroth thee unto me in faithfulness.
That's right.
And thou shalt know Yahweh.
That's right.
And it shall come to pass in that day, the day ain't came yet. I don't know what they're doing up in your class.
Right.
I will hear, saith Yahweh, and I will hear the heavens, and they shall hear the earth.
That's right.
What we going all the way down to
23?
Okay.
Yeah, it's 23.
And the earth shall the earth shall hear the corn and the wine and the oil, and they shall hear Jezreel. Now that's the blessing he gave Jacob.
Yeah.
With corn and wine have I sustained him.
Yeah.
Did he sustain Esau with corn and wine?
Nah.
Did he sustain Philistine, Moab?
Nah.
So I'm gonna read that again. Y'all go back and read that in that Genesis. He said with corn and wine. He said the earth shall hear the corn and the wine.
That's right.
And the oil. And they shall hear Jezreel. Who is Jezreel?
Israel.
That's
Restored
Israel. Not restored Billy Bob.
Right.
Huh? Jim Bob Jimmy. Huh? He didn't say restore Karen.
Right. He said Jezreel. I
just want to get this straight.
Go ahead.
And I will sow her unto me in the earth,
and
I will have mercy upon her that had not obtained mercy.
Who was the herd that had not obtained mercy?
Northern King.
Go ahead.
And I will say to them, which were not my people, thou art my people. And they shall say, thou art my power.
So there's definitely going to be a reconciling of those who have been divorced. All right, so let's go to this next spot. Let's go to 2 Kings 17.
That's right. Come on, brother. Bring it out.
Nah, matter of fact, stay in Hosea. Let's do Hosea 12 and 1. One quick hitter, then we're going to go to that 2 Kings. Hosea 12 and yeah, just verse 1. Now check this out. Because now we finna see that when you leave the covenant, abandon the covenant of the Most High, and you start doing heathen customs, heathen manners, you become a heathen.
That's it.
You become uncircumcised. So now then when we get to part 2, we go to Galatians 2 and see stuff like circumcision circumcision, uncircumcision.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get through off because Israel can be uncircumcised too.
That's right.
We finna read that. So Hosea 12:1. Go ahead.
Ephraim feedeth on wing, and followeth after the east wing. He daily increases lies and desolation. And they do make a covenant with the Assyrians.
They do what?
They do make a covenant with the Assyrians.
Now you already in the covenant with the Most High.
Something wrong.
That's why they got divorced. That's why they got divorced, right? He said they made a covenant with the Assyrians. Go ahead.
And all is carried into Egypt.
Let's go look at it. 2 Kings 17. 2 Kings 17. All this is important before you get to the New Testament and start flipping pages. Second Kings 17, 1 through 5, then we're going to skip.
All right. In the 12th year of Ahaz, king of Judah, began Hoshea, the son of Elah, to reign in Samaria over the Israel 9 years. And he did that which was evil in the sight of Yahweh, but not as the kings of Israel that were before him. Again, he came up to Shalmaneser, king of Assyria. And Hoshea became his servant and gave him presents. And the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hoshea. And he had sent messages to the king of Egypt and brought no present to the king of Assyria, as he had done year by year. Therefore the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison. Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land and went up to Samaria and besieged it 3 years. In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria and placed him in Halah and in Harbor by the river of Gozan and in the cities of the Medes.
All right, so now you got the northern tribes being carried away in Assyria. Then we read in Hosea, said they made a covenant with them.
That's right.
When you make a covenant with them, you take on their way of life, their way of worship, all that. Their way of eating, their way of dressing, all that.
You become just like them.
You become just like them. Go ahead.
Well, now skip down to 7.
Skip down to 7.
Okay.
Yeah, 7.
For it was that the children of Israel had sinned against Yahweh their power, which had brought them up out of the land of Mitzrayim from under the hand of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. And had feared other gods and walked in the statutes of the heathen.
Of the what?
Of the heathen.
Okay, so this is the northern kingdom walking in the statutes of the heathen, making a covenant with the heathen, with the Assyrians. Right? Let's look up this word statutes. In this verse is H2708. H2708. Outlining biblical uses, statutes, ordinance, limit, and enactment. Something prescribed. Something prescribed. Let's look at the Strong's definitions. Substantially the same, appointed, custom. So they walked in the customs
of the heat,
the manner, right? Ordinances, sites, statutes. So if you walking in the customs and manners, that means your way, your course of life, your course of dress, course of eating, course of worship, course of talking, all that. So we see the northern kingdom living like Assyrians. They living like heathen.
They all
right. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right against Yahweh their power. And they built them high places in all their cities, from the tower of the watchman to the fenced city.
All right, let's skip down to verse 15.
All right.
Skip down to verse 15.
And they rejected his statutes. Let me read 14. Notwithstanding, they would not hear, but hardened their necks, like the neck of their fathers that did not believe in Yahweh their power. And they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies, which he had testified against them.
Uh-huh.
And they followed vanity and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them, concerning whom Yahweh had charged them, that they should not do like them. And they left all the commandments of Yahweh their power, and made them molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove, and worshiped all the hosts of heaven, and served Baal. And they called their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and used divination and enchantments, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of Yahweh, to provoke him to anger. Therefore Yahweh was very angry with Israel, and removed them out of his sight. Excuse me. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only.
Go ahead.
Also Judah kept not the commandments of the Lord their power, but walked in the statutes of Israel, which they made.
See, they had their own little laws and customs.
I wonder, that's what they thought.
Go ahead.
Verse 20.
Yeah.
And Yahweh rejected all the seed of Israel, and afflicted them, and delivered them into the hand of the spoilers, until he had cast them out of his sight. For he rent Israel from the house of David.
Right.
And they made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king. And Jeroboam drave Israel from following Yahweh, and made them sin a great sin. The children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did. They departed not from them until Yahweh removed Israel out of his sight, as he had said by all his servants the prophets. So was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria to this day.
All right, so we see the northern tribes here making the covenant with the heathens, becoming and acting like heathens through their idols, just like we read in Ezekiel 14.
We read it all.
Hosea, Isaiah.
He said, just like the prophet said,
yeah,
he carried them out of his sight.
Yep. Just like all the prophets that we read said. Everything lining up right now. So far, right? All right, let's go to the next spot.
All right.
Let's go to 1 Maccabees chapter 1, 11 through 15.
First Mac.
This is what Tuvaya put in the chat earlier. 1 Maccabees chapter 1, 9. Let's look at the southern kingdom going off and acting like heathens. Let's look at both kingdoms here. Let's look at both kingdoms. That's why when you get to the New Testament, you don't see it describing the brothers who were Israelite strangers as Ephraim or Judah. You see circumcision, uncircumcision. You see Jew and Gentile, but it's still talking about the same people.
Come on now.
Still talking about the same people. Just by the time you get to the New Testament, you had remnants of the southern and northern kingdom that were had become Gentiles.
And you got to think of this too here, Hebrew. The northern tribe were gone a long time.
Way before.
So that term Israelite as ascribed to all Israel was far gone.
It was far gone, yeah.
Everybody knew the southern kingdom of Judah. So if you were in the southern kingdom of Judah, everybody just became known as a Jew. So you got to understand that name of Israelites and Naphtali and all, man, that only people that understood that were the old heads that came out of the Assyrian captivity. Yeah. So that name Jew just became commonplace because Judah was still in place.
Well said.
Yep.
Well said. 1 Maccabees chapter 1, 11 through 15. Let's go look at the southern kingdom going off, becoming heathen, making the covenant with the heathens and making themselves uncircumcised. Go ahead.
In those days went there out, Israel, wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain other people were so far forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen.
Didn't Jeremiah 3:13 say your ways is scattered to the strangers?
Mm-hmm.
Your way of life is scattered to the strangers.
That's right.
So we see during this parable of the two sticks, why these two sticks are separated, it's a bunch of stuff going that didn't happen.
Yep, so is.
They got to be cleaned up before anybody else can be bought into this fold. Look at all this.
I want to say something so bad.
All this stuff that didn't happen during the split.
And her treacherous sister Judah saw.
And repented not. Man.
She doing the same thing.
Yep.
Right here, we read in the 10 tribe.
In 2 Kings. Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Same thing.
Same thing.
But here, they going begging the heathen. Like we do. Can we be like you?
Yeah.
Can we have a piece of your pie?
Yeah, we just want to be treated equally.
No, I want what was inherited to me.
Yeah.
I want it all.
Yeah. This thing now this famous little phrase they got. Man, we living in two different Americas. We living in two different Americas.
It's the same Babylon to me.
Look, man, this ain't neither one of them yours.
No.
Ain't neither one of them for you.
Mm-mm.
We living in two different Americas, man. I heard that a lot now.
I don't know what over there. What over there?
Two different Americas.
It's all Babylon to me.
Go ahead.
Verse 15.
Yeah.
And made themselves uncircumcised.
And did what?
And made themselves uncircumcised. And forsook the holy covenant. Wow. And joined themselves to the heathens and were sold to do this.
Joined and made themselves uncircumcised. So when you lead the covenant and the law of your father, and you join a heathen, you become a heathen and you make yourself uncircumcised.
That's right.
Now, do that mean the foreskin on a male members grew back? No. That's spiritual.
That's right.
You can be an Israelite by blood and a Gentile in mindset.
Come on now.
People try to make you sound crazy for saying Israelites were Gentiles, but bruh, it's the same thing with us. We was born here in America.
Yep. Before
we came into the knowledge of the truth, was keeping heathen holidays.
That's right. Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? Doing all this heathenendom.
Right.
And then we came into the knowledge of the truth and who we are. It's the same thing with us.
And so let me say this right here. Just like you said, with no inheritance, if you took your butt over there right now, you couldn't tell me where your forefather's land was. So guess what? You wouldn't have no inherited rights. So what? You would be a sojourner or a stranger with no inherited rights. You be walking around there, man, they say y'all around somewhere. Yeah. Cause you can't move the landmark now.
So okay.
So what you gonna do?
Yeah.
Same thing was happening. It's coming together.
Yeah. It's all piece of this. Well, look, we only read one New Testament scripture.
Yeah,
we ain't even got there yet. We ain't got there yet.
Nope.
But we gotta lay the groundwork. But before you, like I said, before you go over there and Paul and saying, see to the Greek, to the Jew first, then the Gentile. See the Gentile included in this, brother.
Wrong one. Wrong one.
All right, bro. Let's go to the next spot.
All right.
Jeremiah 9. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 more spots. Then we're gonna close this part 1 on now. We got 4 more spots. We're gonna close this part 1 on now. Jeremiah 9, 25 through 26.
All right.
Jeremiah 9, 25 through 26. When you get it, go ahead.
Behold, the days come, said Yahweh, that I will punish all them which are circumcised with the uncircumcised.
Okay, who he talking about then? Verse 26, go ahead.
Mitzrayim and Yehuda.
And who?
And Yehuda.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
And Edom.
And
the children of Ammon and Moab. And all that are in the utmost corners that dwell in the wilderness. For all these nations are uncircumcised.
Judah was included in that?
Yes, sir.
Woo, yes, go ahead.
Sir. Are uncircumcised, and all the house of Israel are uncircumcised in the mind.
All the house of Israel is uncircumcised. So now we got northern and southern kingdom in the Tanakh. being called the uncircumcision.
Yep. And through Judah, look, through Judah here with the jokers is gonna get slaughtered.
Yeah.
Come Moab gonna get slaughtered.
Yeah.
Edom gonna get slaughtered. Ain't they set for slaughter?
Yep.
And he threw Judah off. That's why he said, I'm gonna kill the children, my children with the sword and with the fat.
Yep. Boom. There it is right there.
There it is again. He's I'm gonna kill my children.
Yeah. So before we even get into the new, man, this is beautiful right here. Let's go to 2 Maccabees 6.
All right.
2 Maccabees, we gonna have to call you old line pretty soon. Got knowledge. Hallelujah, my brother. Be
Hallelujah.
Man, hallelujah, my brother. All praises to the Most High. 2 Maccabees 6. 2 Maccabees 6.
Anybody slide up on you and try to make you believe that garbage about Billy Bob and Betty Joe, you need to, just go to the Tanakh, go to these prophets, go to the old book and rip a new one. You ain't gotta go over there. You ain't gotta do it, bro. We ain't gonna go over there.
Don't even worry about the new book. Don't even worry about the new book for a minute. Let's see what the prophets.
We have a more sure word.
Because this the most sure word right here. You know what I'm saying? Because people don't understand the New Testament and tend to dismiss it and don't believe it.
Right.
That's why Peter said, well, look, I know you ain't going to believe what I'm telling you.
Go back over there.
Go back over there.
That's right.
Go back over there.
That's right.
2 Maccabees 6, 1-6. Let's get it.
All right. Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Yahudim to depart from the laws of their fathers, and not to live after the laws of Yah, and to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Judah. What? This stuff right here be making me mad.
The temple of Jupiter.
Yeah, Jupiter Olympus.
Yeah.
And that in God's reign of Jupiter, the defender of strangers.
Well, they was going off. And in this Greek captivity, man, look, they was wild. Go ahead.
And they did desire that dwelt in the place. The coming in of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people, for the temple was filled with riot and reveling by the Gentile. The Greek buttocks burgers.
Yeah. What they was doing?
Who dallied with harlots. What? And had to do with women. I wonder why he made a distinction between the harlots and the women. Because they were buttocks burgers. That's why.
Yeah. It said they dallied with harlots. So these heathens was running orgies in the temple.
Right. That's why he said the court way leave it out.
These heathens was having orgies in the temple.
Come on now.
With harlots. Like, just think about that scene for a minute. In the
holies of holies.
One of the most sacred, most sacred place to ever touch this earth.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
That's crazy, man.
See, that's why they got to get their head hit. That's why he ain't going to have no mercy, man. This is one of the reasons why. Man,
that is wild.
He said, man, my name is sitting there.
Yeah. Now check this out. Keep reading. Let's see what it say. Yeah.
It had to do with women within the circuit of the holy places. So they were going deep down in the holies of holies. And besides, they brought in things that were not lawful. And the altar also was filled with profane things, which the law forbiddeth. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep the Shabbat days. So y'all, we read about the southern kingdom. That's right. Now, this is when the Greeks took over. Now read the next verse. Watch this. Or ancient feasts. Yeah. Or to profess himself to be a Jew. All right, so it was against the law to even call yourself a Jew. So if you couldn't call yourself a Jew because it was against the law, what was you calling yourself? A Greek. That's right. If it was against their law for the Jews to call themselves Jews, what did they have to call themselves? That's right. Same way he came and told you your name was Toby.
So when we get to the Acts 16s of the book where it say, and Timothy's mother was a Jewess, but his father was a Greek.
Mm-hmm.
So your mind just can't be one track and think his daddy was a white man and his mother was an Israelite.
Come on now.
Now you got to take in consideration history. It was at one point in time unlawful for Jews to call themselves Jews.
Mm-hmm. And the reason why his mother was called a Jewess because she practiced the laws of the Jews. His father did not.
It's the same thing you see today.
Yeah.
A sister in the truth with a brother that's not in the truth, or a brother that's in the truth with a sister that's not in the truth. It's the same thing, y'all. So now we know, just based off this, when we see Greek in the New Testament, now we got to consider something else.
Yeah. You can't be thinking about Billy Bob.
You can't be thinking about Billy Bob. Go ahead.
Verse 7.
Was that was 6?
That was 6.
That's all I wanted.
Okay.
Let's go to 2 Mac chapter 4, 7 through 18. So we looked at the northern kingdom. Now let's look at the southern kingdom. 2 Maccabees chapter 4, 7 through 18. Then we're going to pull 2 history references. Then we're going to end it there. This part 1.
Second Maccabees chapter 4, verse 17.
Yeah. No. 2 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 7.
Verse 7, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you good.
But after the death of Seleucus, when Antiochus called Epiphanes, took the kingdom, Jason, the brother of Onias, labored underhand to be high priest, promising unto the king by intercession 360 talents of silver and another revenue 80 talents.
Yeah.
Besides this, he promised to assign 150 more if he might have license to set up a place for exercise and for the training up of youth in the fashions of the heathen.
You see that? For the training up of youth. So this thing has been generational. Mm-hmm. Y'all, what do y'all think happened to all them Israelites that was carried off into Syria all them years? The scriptures say they still in Syria to this day. Mm-hmm. The Isaiah 11 tell you that most of the the northern tribe gonna be gathered from African nations.
Yep. That's right. And this prophetic right here, because he tell you even in Ezekiel that we play the whore, but we don't get paid.
Right.
We do the paying. This dude is paying dude to be a heathen.
A sellout. Yeah.
He paying this guy.
Yeah.
To sell out the covenant.
Yeah. And so now you got generations and generations of people being raised under Assyrian customs.
Yeah.
In the northern kingdom. Mm-hmm. You got people, they say we were scattered in the land of the Medes as well. And
that's right. Sure.
So you got generations of Israelites being raised as Medes under Mede customs, under Mede laws. Then you had these in this captivity in the Greeks.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you see how heavy the influence of the Greek culture is all the way up into 2021.
Yep.
Women walking around,
jumping around.
Like you see the influence. Like we can't even act like so you can't even discredit the Apocrypha on what it's saying about the Greek captivity. Nope. Because we see this stuff today in our face.
Mm-hmm. And if you dare say anything about a joker that's doing that garbage, boy, you might well get ready to fight.
Oh man, you might well get ready to fight,
man,
boy.
Just like my colors, man.
Yeah.
You might well get ready to fight in your hands.
Before I knew that stuff was wicked, I was in the truth, but I just wasn't. Right. I went into the Apocrypha and I didn't know how wicked that Greek stuff was. So, I always been introverted. Yeah. If it wasn't football, I won't participate in no other extracurricular activity. Right. So I said one year I was going to TSU, Tennessee State University. I said, let me see what this mess talking about. So you start being on, I guess what they call the
online. Yeah, you be online.
And they start doing their little haze and things. Yeah. So I was finna be a alpha. Let me see what this talking about. This one Negro called me 2 o'clock in the morning. This dude named Lil Hazy.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm hungry. Bring me some crystals.
Yo, ain't gonna start messing with me.
You know, I'm not privy to the hazing phase and none of that. I'm thinking it's just I'm finna meet some brothers that go to TSU that's just trying to start a little connection. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the phone like, well, okay, maybe he ain't got, you know, we all in college. He might be struggling.
Right.
I'm like, okay. What dorm you in? He told me the dorm. I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? You want me to come pick the money up or, you know? No, you using your money. I can't say what I said on camera. But if y'all know me, y'all know his ears got blessed.
Yeah.
And that was the last time I ever heard from that nigga, bro. And that's the last time I ever even tried going out one of them. We in verse.
Y'all might
pick it back up at verse 9.
Yeah.
At the top of verse 9.
All right. Besides this,
yeah,
he promised to assign 150 more if he might have license to set him up a place for exercise for the training up of youth in the fashions of the heathen, and to write them of Jerusalem by the name of Antiochians.
So if it was unlawful to call yourself a Jew, now he say now you gotta call yourself Antiochians, right? Then it said training up the youth, y'all. So now they in school learning this, just like they do today, training the youth up in heathen custom, heathen history, watered down history.
American.
Yeah.
You are an American.
And Negroes believe that they go out and vote.
Yeah.
July 4th, they got their red, white, and blue on.
We read the Deuteronomy. He said, don't set nobody on you that ain't of your brother.
Yeah.
We read that.
Yeah.
I'm an American. Yeah, I'm proud to be an American.
You know what they saying now? This is the first time in a long time since Joe Biden has been elected that we didn't feel as black people some sense of normalcy in this country. I'm like, if this what y'all settling for, man, a few stimulus checks.
Hey, he done promised him $1,400 a bag of weed. The same Joe that was locking you up back in the 90s for weed, he gonna give you a bag of weed.
It's crazy.
Right, y'all, come on, man.
Man, our people are destroyed, man. This is a destroyed people. And you want to gather with heathens before we get this issue fixed.
Right. Confusion of faces, bro.
Go ahead.
Verse 10. Which when the king had granted and he had gotten into his hand the rule, he forthwith brought his own nation to the Greekish fashion.
Wow.
And the royal privileges granted of special favor to the Jews by the means of John, the father of Epaphras.
Yeah.
Who went ambassador to Rome for enmity and aid. He took away and putting down the governments which were according to the law, he brought up a new custom against the law.
Wow.
Customs, against the law.
Yeah.
For he built gladly a place of exercise under the tower itself.
Going to the gym.
Yeah.
Gotta go work out. Guess where look, there ain't nothing wrong working out, but guess where that came from? Guess where your sports, you're wrestling naked.
See all these jokers posing in front of the mirror.
Yeah. All that came from these Greeks. These are Greek customs. Right? Go ahead.
And brought the chief young men under his subjection. And made them wear a hat.
Now you dressing like Greeks. Well, our people love designer. And we know most of them designers are racist.
And
they hate you.
And they
Yeah. I say all of them is that.
Yeah.
Look, so this thing has carried over throughout the years.
Generation, bro.
Throughout the years. Go ahead.
Now such was the height of Greek fashions and the increase of heathenish manners through the exceeding profaneness of Jason.
Yeah.
I need to find him.
Yeah.
That ungodly wretch.
Yeah.
And no high priest. that the priests had no courage to serve anymore at the altar, but despising the temple and neglecting the sacrifices, hastened to be partakers of the unlawful allowance in the place of exercise after the game of discus called them forth.
See, their brothers was straight neglecting their priestly duties.
Go out there and play some games.
To be some Greeks.
Mm-hmm.
To be Greeks.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Not setting by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all. So you want to be like your forefathers. You want to be like these butt-tops.
You want to be like these jokers. Read through 18.
Okay. By reason whereof sore calamity came upon them. For they had them to be their enemies and avengers, whose customs they followed so earnestly. And unto whom
you see that customs they follow so earnestly.
Yeah.
You ready to make the line. Look, on the AKA.
They said they came under calamity, and they were both their enemies and avengers. See, you got the left wing and the right wing. See, you got both of them your enemies, but one of them playing like he your friend.
Yeah.
But they all in collusion to sit back and laugh at you. Just like it is that. Well, we're going to give you $1,400 a bag a week. Trump said, I'm going to give you $600 where we going to give you $1,400 a bag a week. Take this shot, you know what I'm saying? Get blown out the frame. You understand what I'm saying? It's all good. So see, here it is.
Yeah.
Right here, you read this in the scripture. Yeah. They were both their enemies
and avengers.
Come save us. Somebody come save. Somebody got to do something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then here come the right wing. Y'all leave him alone. But then he's sticking there shaking your back.
That's what Joe Biden doing. See, your racism with Trump was in your face.
Right.
He gonna let you know that. Look, I don't like you.
Right.
Biden, he gonna
pat you on the back.
I love y'all. We need the black vote.
I like roaches.
Yeah.
I like little kids sitting on my lap. Ain't that what he said?
Yeah.
But why you gotta talk about roaches with little black kids?
Right. Right. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And Jim Crow Jordan had numerous racist slip of the tongues. And you Negroes still out here endorsing him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy right there. Go ahead.
Not setting by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all. By reason whereof sore calamity came upon them. For they had them in their they had them to be their enemies and avengers. Yeah. Whose custom they followed so earnestly, and unto whom they desired to be like in all things. For it is not a light thing to do wickedly against the laws of Yah, but the time following shall declare these things. Now, when the game that was used every 5th year was kept at Tyrus, the king being present.
Sound like the Olympics, don't that ain't this when they keep the Olympics?
That's it, bro.
Every so many years.
That's right.
I don't think is it 5? Like 3, 5, something like that.
Like every 5 years.
Yes, I believe it is 5 years. Go ahead.
Verse 19.
Yeah.
This ungracious Jason sent special messages.
What verse you at?
I'm at 19.
No, that was I was on verse 18. All right. Let's get these two history sources, then we're gonna wrap part 1 on up.
All right.
Let's get the Antiquities of the Jews by Flavius Josephus. These Roman numerals. Book 12. And 12. Okay, here we go. I guess this 12. I hate Roman numerals. All right, we in Antiquities of the Jews by Flavius Josephus. We are in book 12, chapter 5. Book 12, chapter 5. Let's look at a little history on this Greek captivity. What I want to paragraph 4 and 5. All right, let's read this first paragraph. Let me share the screen first. Antiquities of the Jews. I know that. I know I probably need to blow that up. Good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me know if I need to blow that up a little bit more. We should be good. So this is dang, let me lost my spot. I just accidentally scrolled.
Oh, okay.
Scroll back. See. My bad, job. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Let me see what we got. Okay, here we go. Chapter 12, chapter. Where's chapter 5? Okay, I see it.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me make sure this the right thing. Nah, this ain't it. Hold on. 1 second, y'all. We having a few difficulties. I lost my spot. I'm looking for book 12. Book 12, chapter 5.
Okay, 5 and 6. Go back up. That's 12.
That's 12. Okay.
Yeah, that's 12.
All right, chapter. Dang, hold on. They ain't even got chapter 5 on this thing. And that's the one I need. Yeah.
In book 12, they don't have chapter 5.
Okay, here it is. Never mind, here it is. Okay. All right, let's get it. We are in Antiquities of the Jews, book 12, chapter 5. We're going to read the first paragraph. I'm going to read this right here. It says, how upon the quarrels one against another about the high priesthood, Antiochus made an expedition against Jerusalem, took the city and pillaged the temples, and distressed the Jews, as how many of the Jews forsook the laws of their country, and how the Samaritans followed the customs of the Greeks and named their temple at Mount Gerizim, the temple of Jupiter Hellenius. All right, let's read this. About this time, upon the death of Onias, the high priest, they gave the high priesthood to Jesus, his brother. For that son which Onias left, or Onias, what's that Roman numeral 4, was yet but an infant. And in his proper place, we will inform the reader of all the circumstances that befell this child. But this Jesus was the brother of Onias, was deprived of the high priesthood by the king, who was angry with him and gave it to his younger brother, whose name was Onias. For Simon had these 3 sons, to each of which the priesthood came. As we already informed the reader, this Jesus changed his name to Jason. Didn't we just read about this? But Onias was called Menelas. Now, as the former high priest, Jesus raised a sedition against Menelas, who was ordained after him. The multitude were divided between them both, and the sons of Tobias took part of Menelas, but the greater part of the people assisted Jason. And by that means, Menelas and the sons of Tobias were distressed and retired to Antiochus, and informed him that they were desirous to leave the laws of their country and the Jewish way of living according to them, and to follow the king's laws and the Grecian way of living. Wherefore they desired his permission to build them a gymnasium at Jerusalem. Now check this out, y'all. And when he had given them leave, they also hid the circumcision of their genitals. So brothers was going so far as to be a Greek, they was hiding they circumcised member.
Yeah.
Hiding the fact that they were circumcised.
Cutting your flesh.
It says they also hid the circumcisions of their genitals, that even when they were naked, they may appear to be Greeks.
Why they did that?
You know, Katie asked me the same thing. Like, what did they
do?
Because you know they wrestle naked.
Yeah, so
so what is it?
So what you do?
Right.
You going out and get some lamb skin or something?
I don't want to know how they did that.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. But they even wanted to look like a Greek even when they was naked. Think about how far you didn't backslid. Think about that, y'all.
I see why we sitting over here today. I really do. I see why we sitting over here. Now you gonna go to that extreme, bro.
Yeah.
I see why we sitting our butts right over here today.
But look though, don't even we see it even in our sisters. They go out their way to look American.
Yeah, westernized.
Even the Negro, he go out his way to look American. I got my design on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sagging pants.
Come on, bro. We gone. I see why.
Negroes wearing fanny packs now.
Oh man, that's fast. High fashion. Just like dude wore the hat. He put the hat on. That was the height of Greek fashion.
Yeah.
We're at the height of Babylonian.
Then right here, you even want to look like a Greek while you naked.
That would baffle me. I'm not doing studying on that. I don't see how you do that, bro. I'm not doing studying on that.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right, it says, accordingly, they left off all the customs that belong to their own country. So brothers weren't keeping no dietary law. They weren't keeping no feast days.
Right.
It says, and check this last line, and imitated the practices of the other nations. Wow. All right, so that was a little piece of history I wanted to read right there. Now let's read something we read all the time. Letters of Pontius Pilate.
Right.
I love it. Let me see what I got down here. Letters of Pontius Pilate on the way to Judea. Okay, on the way to Judea. Let's read this. Let me make sure I got that shirt on the screen. Let's get into this Letters of Pontius Pilate. Let's read just two quick spots right here. Then we gonna end it. And indeed, we prepping for the New Testament. Tomorrow we gonna dive into the New Testament. We gonna hit a few scriptures about redemption in the Old Testament. Right. Showing you how these two sticks gotta be brought back together through the death of Christ. Then we gonna go through the Gospels. Then we're gonna go through the book of Acts. Then we're gonna finish with Paul. Yep. Tie it all up to show you that the New Testament cannot be saying anything different from everything we read in the Old tonight.
Well, what about John 3:16?
Oh man, that's early in the second part tomorrow. That's like 10 minutes into the video tomorrow. You ain't got to worry about that. We getting to all your questions right off the bat. We getting to them. We getting to them. Let me see what y'all talking about in this chat. Good to see y'all. Okay, y'all in here chopping it up. Let's get this Letters of Pontius Pilate. Let's go on finish this out. Let me blow that up one more. That's on 175 now. I know y'all ain't that blind out there. All right, Letters of Pontius Pilate. On the way to Judea. You know, it's crazy. I was at the house before I came over here, told my spot up looking for this book and had forgot all along I had gave it to D-Row. Yeah. I totally forgot about that. I mean, I done pulled all the stuff out the closet, all that. I'm like, man, I know this book around here somewhere. Then it hit me. I said, forgot all about that. So we got it right here on PDF file. Check this out. This is On the Way to Judea. This is the Letters of Pontius Pilate he wrote to his friend Seneca. Pontius Pilate was a governor of Rome. Right? We can read about him in the scriptures. That's right. Now let's just see what he had to say. All right, on the way to Judea, right? Shipboard off Alexandria. We are within the last sight of Alexandria, my dear Seneca. And tomorrow we land. I shall spend a week meeting my staff, interviewing applicants for jobs, shows of Greeks, of course, receiving deputations of loyal Jews, and talking to everyone who can be useful to me. Then on to Caesarea, which, as you know, is my headquarters. Okay, here we go. It says, here at Alexandria, I am to meet Valerius Gratus, my predecessor as procurator of Judea. And if anyone can tell me how I solved the riddle of getting on with the Jews, he ought to be the man. Not that I shall not get on with them. I mean to, and I believe I shall. Valerius has stood them, or they have stood him, do you say? For over 10 years, so it can be done, though no one else has done it. I'm skipping down right here to where it says, I have been lucky, where I highlighted it. I have been lucky, by the way, engaging 2 of Valerius' staff for myself. One is Marcius Rufus, his chief military officer, and now mine, who has been on leave and is traveling back with me. The other, who is even more important, is his secretary, Alexander. He is a Jew, but one of those Jews that are half Greek.
Come on now.
What is Pontius Pilate talking about? A Jew that is half Greek?
Yep.
Let's see what he's talking about. Greek on the surface.
Light skinned brother. Damn and white.
Greek on the surface, or when it comes to his genitalia, Greek on the surface.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? From what we've already been reading. Greek on the surface and Jew at the bottom. The bottom is usually something you can't see.
Right.
So in his mind, the brother might know he's an Israelite.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And Jew and Greek on the outside. Why? Because, well, it was unlawful for brothers to profess themselves a Jew. So you know he wasn't wearing none of the garbs.
No.
He wasn't doing none of the, you know what I'm saying? None of that.
Nope.
All right, okay. So even Pontius Pilate knew Jews could be Greeks as well.
That's right.
Another witness. All right. Check this out. You cannot do without them. It seems that you cannot get a real Jewish Jew to put himself at the service of a mere Roman governor. And if you could, you would be little better off because he would not have the languages.
He would not have the what?
The languages. So he talking about homeborn brothers.
Well, you got to speak Hebrew. You got to speak Hebrew.
Nah, they don't know what they talking about.
Oh, okay. Keep on.
So the Jewish Jew he referring to would be the homeborn brothers.
That's right.
The brothers that stayed in the land, stayed under the customs, didn't go away from the heathen customs.
That's right. Same thing, Paul said, I'm a Hebrew of Hebrews.
Of Hebrews.
Because he was what? Born in the land.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It says, and languages are needed. I assure you, there is one sort of Hebrew for their sacred writing. There is the Aramaic that they commonly talk. There is Greek for non-Jews and for all educated people, whether Jews or not. There is Latin for the Roman procurator and his staff if they don't choose to use Greek. Alexander speaks them all. Alexander knows everything. I am told that the only person in this part of the world who is sharper than a Greek is a Greek educated Jew. You know what they call them in New Testament? Grecians.
A Greek educated Jew.
All right, congratulate me, therefore, on my Alexander. I rely on him to tell me what I do not know about my province of Judea, which is almost everything. See, this Gentile wasn't familiar with none of what we did. There are 2 persons, you see, whom I must not at any price offend. Caesar, Imperator, whom the gods preserve, and my Jew Alexander. All right, now let's skip to another spot down here. The rest of Yahushua. Let's get that. Let's skip down to the rest of Yahushua. And this is plenty daggers in here, you know what I'm saying,
right,
in this letters of Pontius Pilate, but I'm just hitting 2 spots that get straight to the point. Hitting spots that get straight to the point. Let me see the rest of Yahushua. Let me scroll down here. So he said a Greek, Jew that's a half Greek, huh? Greek on the surface, and Jew at the bottom. Where is it? Let me find the spot I'm looking for. Attempt to make it Yahushua king. The rest. Pilate comes to Jerusalem. Same Jerusalem. Okay, here we go. The arrest of Yahweh Shai. Check this out. The arrest of Jesus. You see it. Okay, your freedman Crito has arrived this morning, bringing your letters and others, which he had picked up for me at Caesarea. He starts again. Okay, yeah. He starts back again at once, so that the letter I write you now must be a short one. I wish it had been only your letters he had brought me, for they gave me the pleasure which I always experience in hearing about you in Rome. But no sooner had I read them than I was thrown into ill temper by the news from Caesarea. You know, I am sure I have told you this before, that when the Passover is finished and the large part of the foreign Jews, one
who is estranged, sojourner, okay,
troop back to the coast on their way home. I hold games in Caesarea for several days. It is a relaxation for me as well as for them, and it is good for trade. Do you ask whether they come to my games? Of course they come. They are not Pharisees. They are Greek Jews. Syrianic Jews, Asiatic Jews, merrier and humaner folk than their harsh Judaic brethren. One that is homeborn.
That's right.
And the stranger that sojourned them. So when they leave in Passover, hold on, these foreign Jews came up to Passover.
Come on now.
Because they strangers to the land of Israel.
Without inherited rights.
They don't have inherited rights. Where would they be staying? They weren't booking hotel rooms back then.
We read an old book.
Stay with your brother. Y'all, this is not hard. This concept of Israelite strangers, this ain't hard to grasp.
Nope.
Just take yourself out of it. Take what you've been taught about this out of it.
Wash it out your brain.
Y'all, because all these precepts wouldn't line up like this. No. These witnesses wouldn't line up like this if all this was false.
Right. It's right.
So this was the end of the first part, the parable of the two sticks, from beginning to end, or old and new. The book is about Israel. Tomorrow we're gonna finish this thing off, y'all. We gonna finish painting the picture, put the icing on the cake.
2 sticks.
Man, 2 sticks. Come in one.
That's right. That's right.
If you just slow down to read Ezekiel 37,
come on now.
The light should go off in your head.
That's right.
Then Romans 11 talking about something totally different than what we been taught it was about.
Like you said, one of the apostles referred you back the whole thing.
Yeah.
To prove what he was talking about and who he was talking about.
Yep. So I hope somebody got some understanding. That was the lesson part 1. Most High willing, we're gonna be back tomorrow for that part 2.
That's right. That's right.
All praises to the Most High.
All praises to the Most High. Once again, class gonna resume at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Part 2 of this lesson. We're gonna have the frontline Hebrew in the building, I believe, supposed to be reading for you.
Yeah. Our Corey Yehuda.
Yeah, Corey Yehuda gonna be in the building, the frontline group.
Yeah.
You hear me? We're gonna be coming back and do what we always do.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I had some announcements, but I don't have the information. I think we're gonna have to do a brotherhood meeting tomorrow, so we're gonna get this thing nailed down for Pure.
Okay.
Because it's gonna be on top of us in a minute. But we are gonna be doing Pure. Most High willing, we're gonna have the venue laid out hopefully by the end of next week.
Okay.
And but we're gonna have another little quick meeting after class tomorrow. I'll get the faithful brew to hook that up for us if you don't mind. Just for a little quick minute, y'all, so we can go get this nailed down. And then we're gonna so we can have the venue laid out for Pure. All right. But other than that, you want to shout some of the people out?
Yeah, let me go and get through this chat.
Shout some out on Facebook.
See who up in here. We had quite a few people up in here.
Well, I'm gonna do Facebook, but we ain't got that many on Facebook. We got Sister Latima, Sister Bashan Dykes in the building. Got Chris
Wow.
Davis Israel, my brother Serve in the building.
Yeah.
Yvette Miller.
Yeah.
Anthony Yehuda. Got your mom in here, Real Shebrew in the building.
That's
My real. Got Michael J. Israel. We got the Hebrew Israelite Connection and phone book. Yehuda Nan Yashra in the building. We got who else? We had somebody else in here. B. Lou was in the building. Alfreda Watson. Hadassah, Israelite Queen is in the building. Yeah. Faithful sister. We thank y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, do all that. That's all I got on Facebook.
Oh man, we got quite a few people.
Yeah, I know.
We got you up in here, Sister Regina Dolores,
yes,
Shalom, long time follower of the channel.
That's right. That's right.
Chiquita Nevitt, Shalom, Linda Ricks, what's up, Shebrew? Woody P up in here,
yes,
Tuvaya,
yeah.
Song 777.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook user, they're probably Sister Natima, Shalom, sis. MS Bait.
That's Sister Elaine.
Yeah, Emal, Bro Norris, Shalom, Hebrew Bible Study. K Dub up in the building.
Yeah, Kansas City up in his joint.
We got Fabricio Braga. Hallelujah.
Okay. Hallelujah.
Corey Yehuda. Can't wait to see you tomorrow, Hebrew. Charles Yah Israel.
Yeah, don't forget
the Yah. You better not forget it.
That's right.
Facebook user. Mom Dukes up in here. Michael Parker, Zahara up in here. Shalom.
Okay, what up, Hebrew?
Who else up in here?
I think he said had Tuvaya.
Yeah, Tuvi up in here. Gene McLean.
I think I seen Sister Tanya Moody on there.
I like that name, Gene McLean.
Yeah,
like that name right there. Who else? B. Lou up in here.
Yeah,
Chiquita Nevitt up in here.
Yeah, okay.
Big Rob, Shalom.
Big Rob, what it do? Head first is in the building.
Francesca Ford, Shalom.
What's up,
bro? Shalom. Who else? I believe
Linda Ricks is in the building.
Linda Ricks, Shalom. Cortez Smooth, what's good, Hebrew?
What's going
he
on?
Say, post the cash app on the screen. Yeah, I don't know them banners.
To the top. Slide back up.
Ah, okay. Scroll across the bottom to
there we go.
Okay, y'all. They go to cash app down here. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. We see y'all tomorrow. Most High willing.
Most High willing. We'll see y'all.
Take notes, study them notes. You know what I'm saying? If this understanding is still fresh to you, that's why the first part was strictly to not.
In history.
You know what I'm saying? In history. We ain't even gonna get into the New Testament to tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I made it my point to make this mostly this first part.
Right.
Cause you gotta get the
that's the base.
You gotta get the foundation.
That's right.
Gotta get that foundation. You all forgot Deshaun Evans. We okay, Deshaun Evans, Shalom, Hebrew Bible Study.
All bad.
Shalom.
Hey, don't charge to our hearts. It be so many people scrolling, and chatting. But no, we love all our brothers and sisters.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? We thank all y'all for tuning in, for supporting, for praying for us. Hey, every day y'all come in on Friday, then y'all pull a double duty, come back in on the Shabbat day. No, we appreciate everything that y'all do in tuning in, supporting the channel, supporting the ministry. From the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate it. So don't think because we didn't call your name, it just be so many people in the room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I was up in here chatting tonight.
They be rolling, that thing be scrolling.
Yeah.
So one love to the family.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So we'll see y'all tomorrow, Most High willing. All praise, honor, and great glory is unto our power.
That's right.
The power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob. As always, to our brothers and sisters in the faith, we salute you.
Rest well, Zion.
Rest well tonight. And we'll be seeing y'all tomorrow on the other side. Most High willing.
Shalom.
Shalom, family.